Oh my god. Hot steam hits her face. In a daze, she falls to the ground, coughing violently. But when she finally catches her breath, she finds that the stuffiness has not faded at all.
드디어 깼군.
You're finally awake. She's... Ew! It was horrible. Oh my gosh. Ew! She's in a... Ew. Oh god, I hope the other person isn't naked. Oh no! 2 AUs now with Rosa getting kidnapped. Rosa lifts her head with difficulty, following the voice. She seems to be in a sauna room. There is a heater with sauna stones right beside her. Technically, she also got kidnapped that time with Artem, right? In the same story, remember? She and Artem both got put into those... Oh wait, no. That wasn't... Well, it was kind of kidnapping. I mean, they went there themselves. Trapped? I guess that's not really kidnapping. I guess that's just getting trapped. A man in a suit, probably a bodyguard, sets down a barrel. It is filled with water, which continuously evaporates into hot steam. Is that a threat? You are. The temperature continues to climb, and the only fresh air coming into the sauna is through the open door. Yeah, when Artem didn't bring his gun. Yeah, that was a trap. That's true. At the door stand several bodyguards in the same outfit, with one hand holding a large tablet, revealing the person speaking to her. Oh, so it's like he's not even in the room. These poor bodyguards, they're like in a sauna in suits, and they're like, oh man, that sucks for them. A man with a mask hiding his real face. He is leaning back in a chair.
일단 물부터 마셔. 안 그러면 이런 곳에서 얼마 버티지 못할 테니까.
Is it his boss? I don't know. It doesn't sound like the old man. The old man had a very distinctive voice. Does it sound like the hot man? The man in red? I don't remember his voice. With that said, a bodyguard hands her a glass of water.
왜? 물에 뭘 타기라도 했을까 봐?
What's wrong? Worried that I put something in the water? Yeah. His tone is mild, but there is something sinister in his voice. They're gonna murder Rosa so they don't mind the suit. His tone is mild, but there is something sinister in his voice.
걱정 마. 당신한테 손 안 댈 테니까. 그건 나중에 해도 늦지 않거든.
Oh. Don't worry. I won't lay a hand on you. Because it won't be too late even if I do it later. Wow. Why are you... I don't even know you.
그것도 맞긴 하지. 내 원래 타깃은 당신이 아니라 어디 보자. 그래. 나수양이었으니까.
나수영. Okay. It's no wonder. My target wasn't you, but... What was it? Her name is Felicia Lo. What? Getting up, the man moves closer to the camera, giving a fake sigh.
탓하고 싶으면 경찰을 탓하라고.
If you want to blame someone, blame the police.
나수양을 데리고 가는 바람에 어쩔 수 없이 타깃을 바꿨거든. 안 그랬으면 지금쯤 당신은 발 뻗고 자고 있었겠지.
If they hadn't kept her locked up, I wouldn't have needed to change targets, and you would be sleeping in your bed. His target was Felicia Lo? That means it's something to do with Brad Grease's case.
혼자 무슨 생각을 하는 거지?
What are you secretly thinking about? Huh? Maybe there was nothing on the key so that she would remain locked up. I hope she's not naked. What are you secretly thinking about? Seeing her face, the man stops pretending and speaks impatiently.
이상한 생각하기 전에 빨리 물을게. 지하실에서 뭘 찾았지?
So you don't get the wrong idea. I'll ask quickly. What did you find in the basement? What do you mean?
무슨 뜻인지 알면서 모르는 척하지 마라.
Ooh. Well, you already know what I mean. Don't pretend that you don't know. Beads of sweat fall down her forehead, and she doesn't know if it's because she's nervous or because it's stuffy. Her clothes are already stained with sweat and sticking to her skin, making her scrambled thoughts even more confused. The only thing she knows for sure is at this point she won't get away by pretending she doesn't know anything. The case is still under investigation. If the police and I found something, we would have closed the case. The man scoffs at her reply.
경찰은 범인을 찾고 있겠지만 내가 알고 싶은 건 살해된 이유야.
Oh. Yeah, they put her in the hot room. They're in a sauna. The police are looking into who did it, but I want to know why he was killed. Well, if she's wearing her attorney's jacket though, they probably can't see anything even with the steam, right? Unless she's wearing like a white shirt. But she's wearing her jacket, so From his words, it sounds like someone else did it. As for the reason, Felicia Lowe said Brad Grease was investigating drugs on the black market. She suddenly remembers the pharmaceutical report. There's a copy sitting in her house. There's nothing stopping them from breaking in and taking it. Whatever significance that document holds, she must not let them get their hands on it. Oh, good. I don't know. If you're talking about exists, I think if you're talking about evidence, I think the killer would have taken it by now.
그렇게 확신한다고?
Are you so sure?
더 생각해보지 그래.
Think about it more. He waves his hand, motioning for a bodyguard to get motioning for a bodyguard in the sauna. Oh my god. To get a closer look at her expression. This is her day off. Maybe she dressed down a bit. But she came in for like work, right? Like she came in for work purposes. Abby's scene through this continues. No, it might have happened already. Panic tingles the hair on her scalp as her limbs go numb. Without a way out, she starts to wonder what Mr. Wing would do in this situation. What would he say to her? Oh, she thought of Artem.
변호사로서 우리는 반드시
Remember, as attorneys, you must strive to do one thing.
독립적으로 사고하는 법을 유지해야 해요. 그 누구에게도 흔들리지 않고요. 설령 그게 본인의 의뢰인이라도요.
Maintain the ability to think independently and never follow someone else's line of thought, even if it's your client. Rosa raising her battle deck. Yeah, move the camera. He's still inside. The phone, I guess. Or tablet. Oh my god. I don't have to follow this person's line of thinking, which will only reveal my weakness. The hot steam continues to fill the room, briefly coating the screen. She presses her chapped lips together, trying to change the subject however she can, and the only way to do that... How funny.
뭐라고?
뭐라고? Sorry, I forget you can't see this yourself. She pulls herself together, covering her mouth as she lets out a quiet chuckle while doing her best to suppress her coughs. Black tablet, white walls. You might not know, but right now you'd fit right in as the main feature of a funeral! Rosa is sassing him because, okay, at a funeral, there's usually a procession of people who wear, like, everyone's dressed in black because it's mourning, and then they're carrying a photo. They're carrying a photo of the deceased, right? That's what it looks like right now because there's a row of bodyguards, and at the center probably is him and a guy. Yeah, so he looks like he's the deceased on a picture frame. She's sassing him. Oh my god.
너
It seems she hit a sore spot because the man responds by slamming his fist on the table. I guess that makes sense too because he's probably a rich guy after the immortality thing. He's probably very afraid of death. Yeah, exactly. Don't bring up funerals.
교양 없는 계집애 같으니라고. 언제까지 입을 놀릴 수 있나 보자.
You uneducated... Well, he says something a bit more like the B word, but let's see how much longer you can talk back to me. At his command, a bodyguard picks up the glass of water and pours it all over the sauna stones. With the temperature still rising, she finds it harder to catch her breath despite the door being open. The police will soon find out the truth. You won't get away with this.
웃기는 소리. 여기가 어딘지는 알아? 경찰이 알아내기 전에 네 목숨이 날아갈 텐데.
What a joke. Do you know where you are? You'll be long dead before the police find you.
최근에 그 다른 변호사하고 붙어 다니던데. 이름이 백은우였나?
You seem to be getting closer to another attorney recently. What was his name? Was it Artem Wing?
네가 죽으면 그 인간한테 뒤집어 씌우면 되겠네. 아는 사람이 저지른 범죄. 아주 신빙성 있잖아.
If you die, I might try to pin it on him. It's more convincing to be killed by someone you know. Wait a minute. The man ignores her. Before or after that, he cuts off the communication.
난 일이 있었어 이만. 저 여자애 잘 지켜봐. 말하면 풀어주고 끝까지 말 안 하면 그냥 처리해버려.
Oh, I have other matters to attend to, so keep an eye on her. Let her out when she decides to talk. If she doesn't talk until the end, get rid of her. A bodyguard slams the wooden door shut, followed by the sound of another wooden peg being placed on the outside. Artem can't even choke me properly. Yes, it's true. A digital screen on the wall is monitoring the temperature inside the sauna in real time. Without ventilation, the number has slowly risen to 50 with no signs of stopping. Water. I'd kill for a glass of water right now. Brad Grease must have felt the same before his death. It feels like countless tiny blades are lodged into her parched throat. Even breathing causes bursts of stinging pain. The swelling pain in her temples makes her feel dizzier and dizzier. She tries to keep her breath steady in the sweltering heat and inspects her surroundings again. The walls are devoid of any cracks she can break through, and the only tool available is an iron clamp used for moving the sauna stones. But the door panel is made of strong, heavy wood. Trying to pry it open would be ambitious. Maybe I should tell them a false location to buy time. No, they're willing to do anything. If I say something random, they might not believe me. Worse yet, they might hurt someone else. Or maybe I should just accept my fate. They don't know the information exists, so it isn't that bad. I can't be a burden to Mr. Wing, at least I have to leave a message and some clues behind. And she picks up the iron clamp. Aside from the wooden handle, it's already hot as an iron brand. With it, I can leave a mark on my body. Oh my god, Rosa! Oh my god. Rosa, no! Okay, I mean, I understand. Yeah, oh my god, what is happening? This is getting so dark! Oh my god! Her arm trembles uncontrollably. Exhausted, she sits down on the floor, urging herself to think about what mark to leave behind and where. Though everything is made of wood, just burn those.
도련님 조심하세요.
Oh my god. Vin is here. Vin is here. Sorry, I needed a moment to curl up. This story has had me so effed up. Like I have been. What is happening? I think I have to do the Archon quest tomorrow because I need a break for my brain to like process all of this, right? Oh my god. He never remembers his gun, yeah. She raises her head in disbelief. The iron clamp in her hands drops to the ground with a clang. They say she hallucinates when she's near. They say that you hallucinate when you're near death, but is this really hallucination? Before she can think it through clearly, she cries out with what little strength she has left. Dr. Richter, call the police. She stops herself halfway and swallows the unfinished sentence. At that moment, she's certain that what she's seeing is real because even her subconscious mind would never project such a ridiculous fantasy.
그 정신 나간 인간이 기어이 큰일을 해내는군.
That invalid sure did something major this time. Yeah, it doesn't take long to pass out from heat stroke, yeah. Vin stops at the entrance and looks down at her, his eyes haughty and cold. He's undercover! The bodyguards on either side of him bow to him respectfully, but he takes his air of indifference to the extreme, not even acknowledging their presence.
아우지르, 너무 더운 곳은 불편하네요.
Ogier. Yeah, I guess I cannot stand the heat. It's probably cooler.
두 분, 통풍 시스템을 작동해 이곳의 온도를 최대한 빨리 낮춰주세요.
You two, turn on the ventilation system and get the temperature down as fast as possible.
하지만 저희가 받은 명령은
But the orders that we received.
지체 높으신 도련님께서 이 안에 오래 계시다가 몸에 이상이라도 생기면 두 분이 갇히실 수도 있습니다.
The young master is a person of great importance. If he feels discomfort, it might be the two of you locked in there next time. The two bodyguards look at each other nervously, then obey. A cold breeze slowly blows in from the ceiling. At the same time, Vin walks towards her.
마셔요.
Drink. Kneeling down to her level, he places a glass of water in front of her with indifference. What's going on? What is Vin's relationship with them? Is he pretending not to know me? Her body's demand for water overwhelms any thought, so she grabs the glass of water and gulps it down. She chokes a few times because she drank too fast. As Vin calmly observes her, not mocking her distress. Yet she can't help but wipe her face in embarrassment.
도련님, 아무리 선심 쓰신다 해도 이건 허사입니다.
Even though you've great compassion, you shouldn't have done that. The plan was close to working. Rosa's like half in a coma and trying to fall. Yeah, I know. That's why they should have let her in on it. They should have let her know what's happening. Right? Like, they've kept her in the dark about so many things. And I'm just like, well, they found a way to do it in Genshin. Like, do you know what I mean? So, like, Vin would never, yeah. But it's not just him, right? I think like if they're working on all of these things, they should just let her know what's going on. And the thing is, like, I know that this is a mystery game and there's like things that we're not supposed to like know. So Rosa, like, to do that, it's easier to have Rosa not know them. But at the same time, she's a member of the team, right? And also, they found a way to do that in Genshin. When we did the Archon quest with Sumeru, there's a way to do that. Al-Haytham let Traveler in on the plan, but we didn't know the plan because they told it in such a way that like you don't need to reveal all of it until it happens, right? You can do that. There's a way to do that. Right? Like, I don't know. I'm just... Vin and her date took her to visit his family, didn't tell her anything. Yes, I definitely remember that card. He was dressed in a suit. Vin would never explain himself. That's true. Yeah, I guess if it's Vin, it's a bit in character. That's sad. That's sad for me to say, right? Do I look like someone with great compassion? This green is probably what made me think it was green. Also, his color is green, isn't it? Yeah, they're gonna be mad. Vin sneers with disdain.
나한테까지 불똥 튀게 하기 싫어서예요. 남의 구역에서 사람이 죽기라도 하면 처리하기 귀찮으니까요.
Oh. I merely do not want to invite trouble since this place belongs to someone else. If someone dies here, handling that mess would be annoying.
아니지. 우리는 관련 없겠네요.
No, we have
이건
nothing to do with
당신들이
this.
한 거니까. 그렇죠?
After all, it would... Yeah, we have no connection to this. It would be you guys, right?
안타깝네요. 그때 가서 힘들게 남의 증거나 없애주다가 파놓은 땅에 함께 묻힐 수도 있게 될 테니까요.
Ooh, poor things working so hard to hide bodies and destroy evidence. One day, who knows, you might end up buried alongside them.
그럴 리 없어요.
That's impossible. Yeah, right. Guys, this guard is super... This guard must be new, right? Like he's brand new. Yeah, his voice is... He's got a great voice. Taking advantage of the guard's panic, Vin motions at the iron clamp on the ground with his eyes. Then he mouths 2 words. Threaten me. Hot. Should I play along? Yes! Similar scenes from various TV dramas flash through her mind. Not needing to rehearse lines, she picks up the iron clamp while she grabs Vin's collar at the same time. She holds the sharp edges of the iron clamp close to his throat, its temperature still steaming hot. Don't move, or I'll slit his throat. Slit his throat. With the...
그거 당장 내려놔. 쓸데없는 짓 하지 말라고.
Put that down. Resistance is futile. She gradually stands up on her fatigued legs to prepare for the next part of the plan. On the surface, it looks like she's holding Vin hostage, but he secretly helps her to her feet and whispers something in her ear. That's kind of cool. They make a good team in this case. They make a good team. Don't move or I'll make him look hotter. Guard's first day at work gets Vin. Yeah, unfortunate.
위층이 비밀 경매장이에요. 들어가는 건 자유지만 나갈 땐 아니죠.
Wow, he whispered that right into my ear. I thought that said Vin is gonna breed a man, and I was like, what? Brand a man. I see. But wow, he whispered that right into my ear. A secret auction is proceeding upstairs. Getting in is easy, but getting out isn't. Getting hard isn't? No, I'm sorry. I can't read. Well, I can't read. I was translating and reading, and the words are in reverse order. I'm sorry. Who's upstairs? We know who's upstairs, because upstairs is there's an auction, right? And Artem said he's going to the auction. So upstairs is Artem. Artem will save her. Vin is just the first step.
그곳에서 나오려면 뭐라도 구매하거나 남기고 가야 해요.
You must win a bid before the auction ends or you will be leaving behind something. Huh? Vin seizes the moment when she's stunned to grab the top of the iron clamp. The situation is beyond her expectations. By the time she reacts, the weapon used to threaten Vin has been tossed aside. Vin rotates his wrist, and there is an obvious burn mark on his palm. Wow, they're all getting hurt. Wow. Ogier Wechsler, who is still standing by the door, reacts quickly to the situation and subdues her without using too much force.
그래, 감히 내게 이런 짓을 하다니.
Oh, listen to that.
그래, 감히 내게 이런 짓을 하다니.
Very good. Or, I see. So you dare to do this even to me. Not very good. It's more like I see, but sure. Rosa's palm is also burnt. Yeah. Luke is, oh, yeah, Luke is probably a waiter. Marius is there because he's rich. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, this is what Vin sounds like in S mode. We've heard him as an M. Now we hear him as an S.
아우지를 데려가도록 해요. 그토록 도전을 좋아한다면 재밌는 게임을 같이 하도록 하죠.
Oh no! Oh wow! He's going that route. I see. Take her away. If she likes a challenge, I will make her play some interesting games with me later. Vin's expression is grim and his tone is cold. Seeing the bodyguards move to stop Ogier, Vin stares at them, his eyes full of anger.
가만히 서서 뭐 합니까? 다친 거 안 보여요?
What are you guys still doing standing there? Do you not see that I'm hurt?
의료팀에 연락하겠습니다.
I'll contact the medical staff right away. Amid the chaos, Ogier whisks her from the sauna. Super S, yeah, wow. It isn't until she stepped outside that she realizes the hidden sauna is just one of the many recreational facilities in the underground area she was being held. Ogier Wechsler speaks to her briefly. He says that because of the site of the auction changes every time, this place is a temporary building. After the auction ends, the whole place will be demolished. What? She was lucky to escape the sauna. It might have been the end of the road for her. After telling her all that, Ogier chooses to say nothing when she asks about Vin. Finally, he hands her a mask and leads her to the auction one floor above. Is a mask enough? It was a porn, maybe. Is it a mask enough? What about her clothes? How is she dressed? Yeah, and she's probably not blending in. And she probably is like a sweaty mess, right? Her clothes are soaked. Like,
Tears of Themis.
I'm just saying, this is like not, like, at least help her out a little bit. Okay. The auction. Yeah, she was passing out from heat stroke, right? Mr. Wechsler, what? The room is filled with a variety of people, some wearing masks, others showing their faces. A simple disguise is basically nothing to keep one's identity a secret, right? Stepping on dirty ground will inevitably leave footprints. It serves only as an unspoken rule to warn others that they don't wish to mention in the future.
아가씨, 저분이랑 같이 돌아가셔도 되지만 서두르셔야겠어요.
Ogier Wechsler points towards a corner, then disappears into the crowd. What if she had missed where he was pointing? But he's just like, yeah, go over to him. He'll save you. What? She walks slowly over in disbelief. Accompanied by a few shots, several figures shot in the heart collapse to the ground. Okay, that's got to be targets, right? That didn't sound like people. It wasn't a virtual image displayed on a screen. There would have been blood splattered everywhere. Oh, okay.
제가 이겼네요. 이제 경매권은 제 겁니다.
Oh my god. I won. The next bid belongs to me. I can't believe.
제 실수네요. 마침
My mistake.
제트씨께서 자신 있는 종목을 선택하는 바람에.
I picked Mr. W's area of expertise.
이거 참 간만에 온 건데 뭐라도 건지지 못하면 내 몸이라도 바쳐야겠는걸요.
If I don't want to been sued, I won't get anything from this trip and I might end up losing myself too. What happens if you don't take anything home, you die? What? This is a crazy auction. Identity is Mr. W, right? Without saying a word, Artem puts down. I wonder what's. Hang on.
제 실수네요. 마침 제트씨께서 자신 있는 종목을 선택하는 바람에.
He doesn't say any name in Korean. If you don't win an item, you become an item? Maybe. Without a word, Artem puts down a gun and happens to meet her gaze. At the same time, the distressed guests are keenly aware of her presence as they look around.
응? 이상하네. 뭐 이렇게 생겼지? 아까 못 본 것 같은데. 설마 다음...
What's with that messy state? I haven't seen her before. Don't tell me. Is she the
아니야.
next?
이런 게 있다고는 안 했는데.
I didn't hear anything about that being part of this auction. Okay. So I guess this auction doesn't sell people? You can call me wingman. Oh my god!
아직 뭘 몰라서 그래요. 경매 주최 측은 항상 은밀하게 진행하잖아요. 이번에도 분명 뭔가 큰 게 있겠죠.
Oh no, you're too
불가능할
narrow-minded.
건 없으니까요.
Oh no, he says that like there's nothing that's impossible. Oh no. Yeah, you're too narrow-minded. The auction organizers have always been secretive, so they must be well connected. Nothing is impossible. Oh. Frowning, Artem interrupts their conversation impatiently.
제가 처리하죠.
I'll take care of it. The human trafficking boat was last month. Yeah, not this time, please.
이야, 이건 예상 못했는데. 그렇게 안 봤는데 점잖게 생겨서 꽤 교활해.
No! Oh no! Oh, my brain can't handle this. The human trafficking boat. I don't like any of this. I don't like this game. What a surprise. Not only has Rosa been kidnapped, now she's being trafficked. He's not as impervious to such a light as he'd appeared. Oh no.
맞습니다.
That's correct.
더한 것도 할 수 있는데 보여드릴까요?
I've done even more unexpected things. Would you like to see? What? Or shall I show you? Show you what? Wait, what? Artem raises his hand, holding the cold muzzle against that person's forehead. Someone shoot me. Oh my god, Artem might shoot us. Oh my god. I am on the edge of my seat. Actually, no, I actually pulled my chair in and I'm actually sitting with my back straight up because this is too much.
진정하시고.
Oh, calm down.
가짜인데
It was just a
뭘
joke.
그리 무서워하십니까?
What are you so afraid of? Artem scoffs at the person's ridiculous reaction. He twirls the gun nimbly around his finger, then hands the gun over.
방금은 제가 이겼지만 앞으로의 경매에 참여하지 않겠습니다. 양보해드리죠.
I won the last round, so I'll pass on the rest of the auction and leave the opportunity to you guys. I'll concede. With that, he takes big strides over to her, speaking to her in a hurried voice.
따라와요.
Follow me. Oh my gosh. He's with a gun using it to flirt, right? Oh my god. I'm so stressed. There's so much stress. Every stress. His amazing poker face, right? Artem is so hot. This episode, Artem is super hot. Right? And he's been hot in a variety of ways. He's been hot with like the gun and the facade, but he's also been hot by just being a supportive and gentle, understanding, respectful husband. Like, he's just great. Artem takes her away from the crowd and ducks into a hidden room. Yeah, the whole auction thinks that he just scored himself an escort. Yep, that's what they think. It's a hidden room, but it literally looks like a hotel room. After quickly washing up in the bathroom, she tells Artem the whole story, including Felicia Lowe's confession. Oh, he even let her wash up first. Oh. He let her fix her hair. Oh. Artem lets out a long sigh after hearing this, and there's a hint of remorse in his averting eyes. Noticing this, she quickly changes the subject. By the way, why did you decide to participate in this auction? Yeah, why are you a part of this? Another hookup room.
돌파구를 최대한 빨리 찾고 싶어서요.
I wanted to quickly find a breakthrough as soon as possible. Artem looks out of the window.
여기에서는 그 어떤 것
Oh, weird. Artem looks out the window at the bustling night scene created with holographic technology. Despite being underground, it exudes an air of vitality that is both illusory and contradictory.
여기에서는 그 어떤 것도 가짜가 될 수 있어요. 엄선된 경매품만 빼고요.
Everything here is fake except for the auction items.
주최자가 제공했든 개인이 제공했든 모두 사전에 진위 여부를 검증받아요.
Both official and private sources are verified,
정보도 예외는 아니죠.
and that includes intel. Even some of the auction items are privately provided.
네. 규정상 초대장 소유자를 엄격하게 확인하지는 않아요. 초대장을 양도하더라도 특정 그룹 내에서만 할 수 있다는 암묵적인 룰이 있죠.
Ah. Why does his dad have one? The auction's rules are they won't closely investigate the invitation holders. It's assumed that even if the invitations can be transferred, that can only be done within certain social networks. Oh, to be fair, his dad probably didn't get it directly. His dad might have gotten it also via like a transfer. Maybe they found someone with it and it was handed over to them. He's inadvertently coordinating with wingmen. I mean, he must know somewhat though, because OGA knew, right? OGA was like, he'll save you. I gotta go save Vin.
하지만 경매장의 비밀 보장과 정보만 빼가거나 소란을 일으키려는 사람들을 피하기 위해
But in order to ensure the secrecy of the auction and to avoid people trying to extract information or join for fun,
이 경매에 참여한 이상 마지막까지 아무것도 얻지 못했다면 가치 있는 것을 공제 개념으로 남기고 가야 해요.
if enter the auction and don't win a bid, you have to leave something valuable as collateral. So it's in case you're a mole, if you don't get anything, you leave something behind. I see. But even if you take it, right? Even if you take it, if you get something, I guess like you could always, if you're gonna turn it over to the cops, like ultimately you got that like, I don't know, this is not a foolproof plan. You know what I mean? But whatever. Assume Brian got it as a bribe. Possibly. Artem got it as a favor. Well, Artem did. We know for sure because Artem asked. But yeah.
거래의 퀄리티를 높이기 위해 선택적으로 초대장을 돌리는 식이죠. 제 아버지도 그중 한 분이셨고요.
This is definitely a bribe then. To improve the quality of transactions, they're selective with who they send out invitations. My father happened to be one of them. Something valuable. That sounds extremely vague. It can cover a wide range of things, like how the items without a price tag are often the most expensive. There's no telling what type of transactions might happen here. So it's not hard to understand why they secretly use the competition as an agreement to eliminate other competitors in advance. It also proves that despite the risk, the auction is bound to bring corresponding benefits. The big story, like it used to be the stories that we covered were like short, and maybe that's why this is so long. They were like short, like kind of they were clues, but they were wholly encapsulated, right? But this story, we keep going out of Felicia Lowe's story to look at like all of these other things that are happening, right? This works as rich people wacky party. Yeah. People here think Artem is a corrupt lawyer. Oh, yeah, that's true. That's why I think that Artem, or I thought Artem, like, I don't know now though, to be honest, but why like I think Artem volunteered to take on like cases that were like that case that was very controversial was to be like to put himself out there. Like he is trying, but from the law's perspective to put himself out there as like in order to investigate, but he's taking the lawyer angle. Yeah, spy shit. When we investigated a child abuser, yeah, but it was like one case, right? And now we are like investigating this giant thing, and it's like the big case is we're getting deeper and deeper into it. I like the development, to be honest. I think it was good actually that I saved 3 episodes to do in relatively like close succession, because when I started the game, I did a lot of the story all at once, right? And then and it was like wow, because it just kept going, right? And that's what this feels like again, and that's a nice feeling. So maybe next time too, I'll just leave 3 stories. Basically, I'll leave the stories until Artem is a main character again, and then be like, all right, it's time to get back into the game. Artem trying to make himself look open, available, and ready for the taking, right? Hello, criminals, flirt with me. Vin and Luke, stop stealing our thunder. Yeah, Artem is in it now. That's nice. It proves that despite the risk, the auction is bound to bring corresponding benefits. Does Dr. Richter fall under this rule? If so, it's not in his character to allow others to take advantage of him. He must be after something. Besides, she looks at Artem apologetically. Mr. Wing, did I interrupt your bid just now?
괜찮아요. 이미 손에 넣었거든요.
I already got it. Oh! Artem takes out a small black box with an unknown serial code. She finds a tube with drugs inside.
아마 나수양 씨가 전에 말했던 암 시장에서 암암리에 유통되고 있다는 약물일 거예요.
If I'm right, this is the drug that Felicia Lowe was talking about, the same one circulating in the black market. Okay.
정한성 씨 사건이 터진 뒤 암 시장에서 사라져서 이게 아마 얼마 남지 않은 원본 샘플일 거예요.
Oh, it disappeared from the black market after his case made headlines. I believe this is one of the few original samples left. Did Harper also use the same drug to murder Tyson Turner?
정확하지는 않아요.
I don't know for sure.
그 약물은 샘플이 남아있지 않아서 비교할 수가 없죠.
Because there was nothing left to compare it to.
하지만 이 약물에서 N2X가 검출된다면 동일한 약물일 가능성이 높아요.
But if N2X can be detected in this drug, then the likelihood that the two are the same might be high. Artem takes out a dark golden card.
경매장의 초대장이에요. 이거랑 약이 든 상자를 갖고 가면 무사히 나갈 수 있을 거예요.
This is an invitation. Take this and the drugs and they'll let you leave.
N2X에 관련된 거라 돌아가서 곧바로 국정원에 검사를 넘길 거예요. 특별 조사팀을 만들었으니 결과도 금방 나올 거고요.
Since N2X is involved, take this to the NSB. Because they set up a special team, this should get results fast. After that, he sees that she has not taken the invitation and holds it patiently in front of her. How can he be so calm? She looks at the thin invitation but understands the weight of its significance. Mr. Wing, what will you do if you give me these? Yeah. I love that, like, he's just like, I got this. And she's like, what are you gonna do? Marius, I'm still around. Yo, Rose is here. You handle this. I mean, if Vin is smart, unlike Rosa, he wouldn't tell. Yeah, he wouldn't tell. Because, like, oh my God. I can't believe Rosa said all of that in front of Felicia. Oh my God. I'm still not over that. I'm still not over that. Kiss once. Yeah, please kiss. Please kiss. I'm just going to assume they do. I'm going to assume before they part ways, they give each other a good luck kiss. You know what I mean? I just think that that's got to happen, right?
방법이 있을 거예요.
I'll find a way. And what will that be? After a brief silence, just like how he once taught her, he slyly changes the subject.
주최 측은 고객의 생명을 위협하지 않아요. 그저 다음 경매에 올릴 수 있는 가치 있는 무언가를 원할 뿐이죠.
The organizers don't threaten the lives of the guests. They just want something valuable enough for the next auction. But how can you prove you're a guest without an invitation? He's taken aback, not expecting her to have found the hole in his logic. He was trying to sneak it faster, and she's like, "You were giving me the invitation." Yes. But after that, instead of trying to talk her out of it, he smiles.
참.
His sigh reveals a hint of helplessness, but his eyes are comforting. When it all fades away, all that remains is indescribable emotion, almost like pity. Huh? Keenly aware, she realizes there's only one way to persuade him. Why does he pity her? I don't understand. Are you feeling sorry for me? Yeah. Are you feeling sorry because of what happened? Is that why you wanted to give me a free pass out of here? Oh, come on. No. He's stunned and shakes his head.
아니요. 그런 게 아니에요.
It's not that. In that case, let's be fair. You take what's rightfully yours and leave on your own, or we'll find a way together. Artem stares at her in silence. In a silent stalemate, she can clearly see an intense internal struggle in the way his lips are pressed tightly together. Finally, he drops his arm and takes the invitation back, for now.
경매가 곧 끝날 거예요. 방법을 생각할 시간이 얼마 없어요.
The auction will be over soon, and we don't have time to figure a way out. Yeah, or we don't have much time to figure a way out. There has to be a way. She looks at the black box in her hand. There is only one invitation and one lot between the two of them. If both of them want to leave, absurd ideas flash through her mind, including the conversation between the two guests.
응? 이상하네.
Oh,
뭐
yep,
이렇게 생겼지?
she's gonna go that way.
아까 못 본 것 같은데.
She's gonna go that way.
설마 다음
No. But also yes. But also no. Is Artem gonna be okay? I don't think Artem's gonna be okay.
아니야. 이런 게 있다고는 안 했는데.
아직 뭘 몰라서 그래요. 경매 주최 측은 항상 은밀하게 진행하잖아요. 이번에도 분명
Even if it's just baseless speculation, that doesn't stop her from using it as a bluff. Mr. Wing, do you remember what those people said? Oh god, I don't think I can do this. Yeah, Artem is gonna be like, everyone's gonna think that you're a... Perhaps we can put on a performance. Even if it fails, we can shrug it off as a joke and come up with something else. Wow, she was really lighthearted about that. What? Rosa, what? I can't breathe. This card is... This story. Sometimes I'm like... After listening to her plan in detail, Artem lets out a troubled sigh. Exactly! Just say the plan and don't tell us. Or say that they plan and don't tell us. And you can... just do that with Rosa. Jesus. God, Rosa. He nods reluctantly. No other plan coming to mind. I mean, yeah, it is like their only option.
한번 해보기만 해요.
Okay, let's try it. 30 minutes ago, she was about to brand herself. Rosa is bold, man. Rosa is bold. The auction is in full swing. She and Artem deliberately avoid the crowd, arriving at a side gate. The security is weaker here. Listen to the music. It's like sneaky, but playful sneaky. Right? It's like a Tom and Jerry, like, music. Sometimes I'm like, this card is so serious. And then sometimes I'm like, this card is so unserious. So much has happened in this. Rosa has been kidnapped. She almost got branded. Then she was trafficked. And the security is weaker here. A guard standing alone sees the two of them and solemnly extends his hand.
나가실 거면 규칙대로 증명을 보여주셔야 합니다.
Please show proof in accordance with the rules. Huh? Yeah, this is the pumpkin patch. This is... Yes, lighthearted romance. This is... Take the invitation, refuse the invitation. Take the invitation. We're bold. She takes out the dark golden invitation and calmly hands it to the guard.
옆에 계신 신사분도 보여주시고 각자 경매장에서 구매하신 물건도 부탁드립니다.
What if Artem is the prize? What if it's not her? What if they subverted our expectations and Artem is the prize? I would love it. It's showtime. She clears her throat and taps Artem's chest twice. I'm suddenly glad I chose this and not the other one. If so, right? I'm a rich woman and this pretty boy is the plaything I own. Capiche? Or I won. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I ran away. I ran away from my computer. Oh. Screenshot. Oh my god. Oh my god, 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 oh my god. I am so glad that I chose take the invitation, right? I literally only chose it to be like, hey, I only chose it to be like, hey, let's just see because we're bold, but I can't believe.
네? 경매장에서 이런 거래는 들어본 적도
That kind of transaction I've never heard. Sensing his doubt, she reuses the words that other guests said earlier. The auction organizers are well connected. Nothing is impossible.
잠시만요. 그렇다 해도 이번에 초대된 귀빈분 같아 보이지 않습니다. 오히려 옆에 계신 분 의상이
Did I pick the wrong route? No! This is the right route. This has to be. It is too good. It is too good. Honestly, you don't get it, do you? She waves her fingers confidently while grabbing Artem's tie with the other hand. To be honest, only Rosa could do this. Do you know what I mean? I think Artem putting up this ruse would have been a fail. Like I know he would have succeeded in the game, but I think realistically, quote unquote, it would not have actually worked because Rosa has proven time and time again that when it comes to acting, she is up for the job. You know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Like grabbing Artem's tie with the other hand. She grabbed his tie. I set this up on purpose. I force a well-dressed man to take off layers of clothing one by one, crushing his self-esteem. Oh no! Oh my god! 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 Good night. Petal is deceased. She hasn't undressed him yet. She's saying that she will undress him, but doesn't that make things more interesting? Artem's eyes wander and he turns his head in shame. She's not sure if it's a genuine reaction or a convincing performance. The music. Sometimes this game is so unserious, and I love it. The game really was like, we will give you everything you want. We'll give you anything. We're ready. We're prepared. If you do the other route, let me know how it goes, okay? Let me know what happens if you do the other route. He went from crushing sadness to terror. To kinky. To Vin time to this. Yeah, we did. Trauma. We also covered trauma.
그만하세요. 말 들을 테니까 빨리 가요.
Just when she thought that she had got away with it, the guard suddenly stops her, pulling what looks like a small tablet out of his pocket.
거래 코드 좀 부탁드립니다. 어떤 거래든 시스템에 기록되어 있을 겁니다.
Oh no, now we're in trouble. Okay, yesterday Rosa heard a man die. Say it again, here we go.
말 들을 테니까 빨리 가요. 말 들을 테니까 빨리 가요.
Code? She shudders and remembers the string of numbers on the black box he wore. Regardless, it wouldn't help her in the current situation because everything would be exposed. What now? Should she give it up and shrug it off as a joke? Pushed into a corner, she considers how to get out of the situation when a familiar figure appears around the corner.
이런 거래는 시스템에 기록되어 있지 않습니다.
Oh, thank God. OGA to the rescue. OGA to the rescue. Those types of transactions will not be recorded in the back end.
저들을 보내주시죠.
Let them go. If you're worried about the risk,
걱정되신다면 저희 도련님께서 대신 보증하겠습니다.
the young master can vouch for them. Dr. Richter. Ogier Weschler deliberately avoids mentioning any names, eliciting a response from the guard.
도련님이 누구시죠?
Who's the young master?
그런 사람이 있다고 들은 바 없는데요.
I haven't heard anyone here called that.
그럼 다른 이름은 분명 아실 겁니다.
If you haven't, I'm sure you've heard of this name.
저희 도련님은 윤주혁 씨의 조카분이십니다.
Ah! Matthew Richter. He's the young master's uncle. The code is Hotboy1169. Does Vin outrank Artem here? I'm sure he does. Because it looks like Vin is part of the organizers. I think Vin's one of the organizers. Or at least his uncle is. I think his uncle... Oh, no. But... Are you ready for what's going to happen next? This is the card. Rosa parades him out in front of Vin. Oh god, that would be worse, yeah. At the auction, Vin sits in a quiet corner, looking through the lots on the stage that are of no interest to him.
아우지르, 제대로 하고 왔나요?
Ogier, is it done?
네, 도련님.
Yes, young master. Ogier Wester nods, a worried look on his face in contrast to Vin's nonchalance.
도련님, 이렇게 이름을 팔아도 괜찮을까요?
Is it okay to be throwing his name around in public?
이 사실을 알게 되면 불같이 화를 내실 겁니다. 변호사 아가씨 쪽도 의심을 받을 거고요.
Oh. He'll throw a fit when he learns of this. She might also be suspicious after this. Suspected after this. Suspected. But anyway. Yeah, Vin saw it. So his uncle is not involved in this. But his uncle's a big enough name that... interesting.
화내라고 해요.
Then let him get angry.
애초에 날 죽이려는 게 아니라 이 기회를 빌려 내가 나타나게 하는 게 목적이니까요. 사람들의 의심을 불러일으키려는 거예요.
His intent is not to kill, but to use this opportunity to force me to appear, making me suspicious and tainted. His uncle is trying to sabotage him. So it's not like a good relationship. Oh.
그러니 가만히 기다리는 것보다 일찍이 카드를 공개하는 게 낫죠.
Instead of waiting to be suspected, it's better to take the initiative.
변호사 아가씨와 멀어지시면 어떡하시려고요?
Aren't you afraid that, or what will you do if she misunderstands? What will you do if she misunderstands? So, interesting. You know what is very funny though? I found that like every time I listen to Vin in like the romantic cards in Korean, I don't like it as much. Like I definitely prefer his Japanese voice. But when it comes to these scenes, right? Like where Vin is being a bit more like serious or dark, his Korean voice really suits him. Yeah, this Vin is really good in Korean. So, Vin playing 5D chess, yeah. This is my favorite Vin. Because he's not pretending to be a good guy. You're not supposed to buy it. Do you know what I mean? He's very good as a villain, which is kind of funny. Expressionless, Vin tilts his head, his fingers twirling his hair. Oh. The fingers tap at his temple to show a trace of anxiety.
이전에 말했었어요. 사람을 볼 땐 그 사람이 하는 말보다 그 사람의 행동을 보라고요.
Oh, I like this. I've told her before, don't judge a person by what they say, but what they do. He picks up a glass on the table in front of him, thoughtfully tracing its edges with its shape with his fingers. It is the same glass he used to give her water in the sauna.
그 말은 그녀뿐만 아니라 나 자신을 위로하려고 한 말이기도 하고요.
Oh, that was not just a reminder to her, but also a way of comforting myself.
아우지르, 적어도 그녀가 내게 남긴 믿음은 내가 물속에서 아무것도 하지 않을 거란 걸 보여주기 충분했어요.
Oh.
그렇게 나쁘지 않았죠.
Okay, Ogier, she still has, even if it's small, she still has some trust in me. At least to the point where she didn't believe that I would put anything in the water. That's not so bad, is it? Or sorry, it's enough for, sorry. No. Sorry. He said, it's enough for me that she didn't believe that I would put anything in the water. That's not so bad, is it? That's what he said. I like it. She'll forgive me later. We have more Sudoku to do. Yeah. Human traffic. Ogier has to deal with much of... Yeah, I know. Poor Ogier. He's the butler. Don't do the self-deprecating thing. I don't like when any of them do the self-deprecating thing. Right? Like, I hate it when any of them do that. I know they got issues, but... Especially Artem, I'm like, you go too far. You need to stop. Artem, you are a hot man. You need to stop. After the successful escape, Artem immediately drives away in his car. The secret auction hosted in the suburbs was sealed off. By this point, it's already late at night and there isn't a soul in sight. Outside the window is the boundless night, finally, able to relax, she realizes the exhaustion has spread to every inch of her body. But because of all the information, her mind is still extremely agitated. She might be woozy, but she's not drowsy in the slightest. Matthew Richter, Mr. Wing, did you know about Vin's uncle?
윤노아 씨의 사생활에는 관심 없어요.
Oh my god! This card has been nothing but subtle Vin disses from Artem, and I love it. I'm living for it. Let's listen to that again.
윤노아 씨의 사생활에는 관심 없어요.
I have no interest in Vin Noah's personal affairs. I don't know why I said Vin Noah. Yun Noah. So I have no... Like, he uses his full name as well, and it's funny. So it's like, I have no interest in Vin Richter's personal affairs. It's like so cold. divorced energy, right? They do have strong divorced energy. They really do. It's kind of funny. I wonder if he's the same person who threatened me in the sauna.
무리하게 기억해내려고 하지 마요.
Don't force yourself to relive that memory. Okay, right. So she's told him everything now. So he knows everything now. Artem casts a worried look at the corner of his eye.
그 일은 나중에 윤노아 씨 본인에게 물어봐요.
You can ask him directly about this later. She nods, privately leaning toward believing in Vin. Good job, Vin. Or good job, Rosa. Jeez. I don't think she told him about the branding. Probably not. She probably just told him the events. She's a lawyer, right? It was probably just, here is what happened. And she left out any unnecessary information, right? Like anything too emotional, right? She's a lawyer. We'll see him at Sudoku later. In any case, had it not been for Vin's intervention, she would have been suffocated alive in that sauna, unable to leave any messages behind. Ah,
왜 그래요?
what is it? Unlike at the jail. Oh my god, that was awful. Why was such an important problem ignored? Why didn't she think of it before? Mr. Wing, Brad Grease was locked in the basement for so many days. If his movements weren't restricted, why didn't he ever think to leave a message identifying the killer? Did he not know who the killer was? Or...
꽉 잡아요.
Oh, it's happening. I think it's happening. The music has changed too.
꽉 잡아요.
With an urgent warning, the car swerves sharply. After briefly losing balance, Artem avoids an oncoming car that has just tried to force the two of them to stop. What's going on? Did the auction send someone after us?
그럴 수 있어요.
Maybe.
일단 꽉 잡아요.
First, grab on for now. Looking in the rearview mirror, she spots the car making a turn and preparing to continue pursuit. As she passes, thank God Artem's a good driver. Yeah, he loves stunt driving, thank God. As she passes a small path overgrown with weeds, Artem suddenly turns the steering wheel, driving straight into it. Tree branches beat repeatedly against the window so violently that she cannot see the road in front. She holds her breath, trying to hold onto the armrest for dear life. Despite the poor visibility, Artem drives calmly, narrowly avoiding a tree stump in the way. Thank God. After 10 minutes or so, the car veers back onto the even road.
괜찮아요?
Are you okay? I'm fine. Since we took a long detour, we must have lost them, right? Just when she breathes a sigh of relief, small shiny objects on the road not far away immediately catch her attention. Oh no, road spikes! Mr. Wing, watch out! Stepping on the emergency brakes will only cause the car to flip over. Despite trying his best to avoid the spikes, one of the tires is still punctured. Oh, the tire is punctured again. The car swerves out of control the moment Artem steps on the brakes. Just as the car is about to hit a guardrail, Artem suddenly turns the steering wheel, spinning the car around so the driver's seat is in front. In the confusion, she seems to see several motorbikes, deftly avoiding the road spikes and zooming past the car. What follows is a violent crash that seems to shake the sky and crack the earth. Wingman. Stop calling him that. It'll make me laugh. At that moment, she feels like throwing up, but she loses consciousness before anything happens. They let us hear the crash. It's okay. At least it wasn't a body falling. At least this crash isn't as bad as the body that fell. As she struggles to open her eyes, she finds herself lying flat in the back seat. There are no obvious injuries except for some soreness in her limbs and neck. She struggles to get up and looks around the car. The front windshield has been completely shattered, leaving the fragments all over the car. The driver's seat has been deformed in the crash. Mr. Wing? She's relieved to see the driver's seat empty, but her mind goes blank when she looks out the window, trying to forget the pain. Opening the door, she staggers out of the car. Yeah, second brain injury. Artem is sitting against the railing, the blood on his body clear under the cold white light of the street lamp. Just take a moment. This is the card we've been waiting for. Dang, he is so well built. The contrast between his words and his actions is as stark as the blood staining his clothes.
어때요? 어디 다친 데는 없어요?
How are you? Are you hurt anywhere?
국정원에서 방금 도착했어요. 구급차도 오는 중이니 너무 걱정 말아요.
The NSB has just arrived, and the ambulance is on its way, so don't worry too much. He looks in her direction, his voice anxious and concerned. But in her eyes, Artem, who is awkwardly biting the end of his tie to stop a wound from bleeding, should be more concerned about his own well-being. He's like talking through that. Help me tie up, yeah. I broke 7 ribs. Don't worry, this one rope will fix me. Mr. Wing. Yeah, her phone is still in the kidnapper's car. I should be the one saying that. Let me check for other wounds. But when she approaches, he stops her.
오지 말아요.
I said, don't come over. Or sorry, not I said, just don't come over. Sensing her confusion, he slows down and explains apologetically. Oh, that's true. Artem's in those. That's true. But no, they already know that he works with her. Never mind. It doesn't matter. Who knows what they did with the car, to be honest. Sensing her confusion, he slows down and explains apologetically.
볼 필요 없어요. 속만 안 좋아질 뿐이니까요.
Are the others? Huh? Wait, how hurt is he?
볼 필요 없어요. 속만 안 좋아질 뿐이니까요.
There's nothing to see because it'll only make you sick. What are you talking about? Artem, you only got injured because of me. She clearly remembers. If he hadn't swerved and let the driver's side take most of the impact, she would have been hurt. Upon hearing the guilt in her voice, he sighs and speaks in a deliberately lighthearted tone.
하지만 이번엔 안쓰럽다고 생각하지 않았어요. 물론 저번도 마찬가지고요.
But I'm not feeling sorry for you this time. Nor was I feeling sorry for you last time. Mr. Wing, you still remember?
네. 저도 뒤끝이 좀 있거든요.
Yes, I do, because I also... Something? She bows her head in shame, and the words she said before echoes in her mind. Are you feeling sorry for me? Are you feeling sorry because of what happened? That's why you wanted to give me a free pass out of here.
자책할 필요 없어요. 그렇게 한 건 그저
You don't have to feel guilty. I only did it because...
운전자는 저니까 주도권을 갖고 있는 사람으로서 책임져야 한다고 생각했어요.
I thought that since I was driving, I had to be responsible for my passenger. Oh, Artem, no! Don't say that! Oh. He's putting distance. Just a bad scrape. Captain goes down with his ship. That's boats, you dumbass. Oh, man, look at that. Look at how, like, they even animated it that when he does that, the blood gets deeper. Like, the red gets darker, right? Wow. Artem tightens both ends of the tie as he speaks. As he does that, the surface of the cloth is stained with red. However, it seems like the bleeding has stopped.
가진 것이 많을수록 더 큰 힘을 가지게 되고 그에 맞게 더 많은 책임을 져야 해요.
He gave the Spider-Man line. With great power comes great responsibility. Thanks.
하지만 이 책임이 연민 때문에 생기는 건 아니에요. 저는 늘 당신을 동등한 위치에 두고 생각해서.
But this responsibility is not out of pity. I've always put you on equal footing, which is why I...
당신이 미래를 잃지 않고 저처럼 성장할 기회를 얻길 바라는 거예요.
Your future will not end prematurely, and you will have the chance to grow old as I did. Or to grow, not to grow old. Oops. But, okay.
안 그럼 너무 불공평하지 않나요?
If not, it wouldn't be fair, right? At this moment, it hits her. The indescribable mixture of emotions was not pity, but tenderness. Then, Mr. Wing, are you here today out of some responsibility?
어쩌면요.
Perhaps.
하지만 드디어 한 가지를 깨달았어요.
But I finally realized something today. What?
진실은 햇빛 아래서만 드러나는 게 아니라 때로는 그림자 속에 숨겨진 진실이 더 큰 가치를 지닐 수 있다는 거예요.
Truth may not only be exposed in the light. Sometimes the truths in the shadows have greater value. Interesting. As if drawing the curtain on this absurd event, the early light of dawn rises over the horizon. It is said that the darkness is strongest before dawn, when the rising sun repels it. But when the shadows of this night keep emerging, all of the sun can do is force them into hiding temporarily, and give Rosa and Artem a brief moment of respite to prepare themselves for the next time when darkness descends again. Heavy. That was heavy. We're almost there. Do a knot? Yeah. You can't drop that after a car accident. Oh my god, I like that you've prescribed his injuries for him. The son Luke. Okay, we're here now, right? Yeah, okay. Oh my god. It has been 5 hours. It has been 5 hours. And honestly, the last 2 hours kind of felt like they just breezed by because so much crazy shit happened. I'm gonna go sleep. Oh yes, go to sleep, go to sleep. Oh, it's very, very late for you. I'm sorry. Oh, thank you for sticking with me for this long on the journey though. Jesus Christ. You plan to do Genshin today, not this incredible drama? Yeah, me too. I also plan to do Genshin today. And instead, for the next few days, she doesn't contact Vin. She's like, I don't want to talk to you. Oh my god. By the time the NSB arrives at the location, the guests are gone. There are only 2 pieces of good news. Artem's injuries are not serious. Good! He will recover quickly if he dresses the wound regularly. Felicia Lowe's daughter has moved from the ICU to the general ward. It's a matter of time before she wakes up. Yes, Vin is not allowed to do Sudoku. It's okay, we can do it ourselves. Oh my god. It's here, right? Since the wound is in a somewhat private location... Where is the wound? Wait a minute. So the wound is not just the one on his arm. So there's another... Oh, wow. He must have gotten pretty hurt, though, then, right? Like, I mean, not, like, too hurt, but, like, hurt enough, right? That, like, that's... Like, because he did say... It is his nipple. Because she did say, like... He did say, like, it'll just make you feel sick. So he must have gotten, like... I wonder if he got gouged a little bit, right? I feel like he did get gouged. Ooh. Oh. She can only wait in the hospital corridor for Artem. If he didn't have torso drama, he's not human. Yeah. Taking advantage of this opportunity, she heads over to Bridget Grease's patient room. Bridget is still young, with various tubes wrapped around her body. She's so emaciated, her hospital bed looks like it's swallowing her up. Oh no, we're back to the child trauma. Bridget Grease, 10 years old. Felicia Lowe said her daughter was born sickly. As her parents, they wanted a name that would be a symbol of good health. Oh, I feel bad that I was like, oh no, I don't like her name. I'm sorry. Unfortunately.
변호사님.
It's Jerome! He's here! He finally appeared! I'm so sorry, Beck. I should be sending you to bed. Bruised ribs take weeks to hurt less. Jerome Adams appears out of nowhere. He seems oblivious to her surprise and smiles naturally.
정말 오랜만이네요.
I'll try to read fast the parts that aren't him, okay? It's been a long time. Yes, Mr. Adams, what a coincidence. Are you volunteering at the hospital again? But if I recall correctly, Bridget's mother hired a caregiver to look after her. Why are you here? Jerome Adams calmly discards the withered flowers in the vase beside her bed. He's equally open in the face of her undisguised doubts.
네. 말로는 그렇지만
That's what was said, but...
몸이 건강한 사람들은 대부분 병마와 힘겹게 싸우는 환자들을 공감하지 못해요.
People in good health have a hard time empathizing with suffering patients.
그래서 혹여나 제대로 보살핌을 받지 못할까 봐 걱정돼서 가끔 보러 오는 편이에요.
I'm just the type that occasionally drops by to make sure, or that worries and drops by to make sure that she's being taken care of. So, is he sick? Is he sick? For some reason, she can sense an indescribable strangeness in his calm explanation, but that feeling is as fleeting as an illusion. Funny, she couldn't make it lately. Yeah. Jerome Adams looks at Bridget with a gentle gaze, carefully placing fresh flowers into the vase one by one. These flowers.
이건 글라디올러스라는 꽃이에요. 꽃말은 장수, 건강, 그리고 영원한 그리움이죠.
These are gladiolus. He said it, right? He said gladiolus. Its flower language means longevity, health, and eternal remembrance.
금난이라고 불리기도 해요.
Gladiolus Valley Research Center. She subconsciously reaches for the document in her bag. Since she discussed the matter with Artem, she's certain that he knows what she will do next with the research report. Yeah, immortality. I'm just the person to take care of the details. Yeah. I have a thought.
말해봐요.
Tell me. The pharmaceutical research is owned by Gladiolus Valley, and it would take other institutions a long time to analyze it. Instead of that, why don't we just show it to a researcher? Oh my god.
그 견우라는 사람 말하는 건가요?
Jerome Adams? Yes, it seems the person who kidnapped me was after this information. Don't give it to him! If it's extraordinary value, it might be impossible for him to not react after seeing it. Oh, she's using it to bait him. She's using it to bait him. Rosa is risky. But that's how I always play her. I always pick the riskiest options.
네, 이참에 떠보는 것도 나쁘지 않겠네요.
We could use this opportunity to test him. Do you think he's suspicious? Artem doesn't answer her directly, but mentions a name that she forgot.
하은설 씨가 어떤 식으로 지시를 받았는지 기억하나요?
Do you remember how Harper was incited? If I recall, a note. Harper once said that she found a note from Oedipus in her bag. That's how she learned about an unknown drug, and now it looks like it could be the black market drug.
쪽지를 통한 정보 전달은 유구히 사용되던 방법이죠.
Transmitting information through paper notes is a fairly primitive method.
SNS 계정만 있어도 할 수 있는 일이고 방법만 잘 사용하면 추적하기도 어렵고요.
Yeah, it's bait. Yeah, his nickname is Oedipus. He could have done it through a social media. If done right, it would almost be impossible for the police to trace it.
하은설 씨의 휴대폰 번호 같은
Yeah, as in that
개인
Oedipus.
정보가 없었다면 몰라도
Unless he didn't know of her personal information, such as her phone number.
몰래 쪽지를 전하는 게 몰래 정보를 캐는 것보다 쉬웠을 거예요.
It would be easier to deliver a note than to get her personal information. That means the person is probably a healthcare worker who frequents the hospital but isn't a colleague. No, I mean, it might be pretty easy to just dig into the hospital records, right? Guiding her thoughts to speculation, Artem doesn't rush to a conclusion.
하지만 쪽지 자체가 상대에 대한 집착일 가능성도 존재하죠.
But we can't rule out another possibility. The paper note is just a fixation. True. Yeah, he just prefers it. If that theory is correct, Jerome Adams is a strong suspect. A researcher of a pharmaceutical company who frequents hospitals as a volunteer, it's strange thinking about it. Besides, Brad Grease used to be a researcher at Gladiolus Valley. Mr. Adams, might I trouble you with something?
네, 말씀하세요.
This can't be legal, right? She surely can't show an outside party this evidence, right? Well, I guess that's not true. She can ask an expert for their information. Actually, yeah, I guess that's part of the investigative procedure, so it might actually be okay. And she did get permission from her senior partner, so. She takes out a copy of the pharmaceutical document and hands it to Jerome. Can you take a look at this report from Gladiolus Valley? What is the drug that the research is focused on?
물론이죠.
Of course. He looks over the document. As he turns the pages, his face grows darker as his knuckles tremble slightly.
이 자료 어디서 났어요?
Did we actually surprise Jerome? I think this is the first time. That shouldn't be of any concern to you, right?
네, 중요해요.
No, it is important. She watches Jerome's Adams expression warily. The next moment, he lets out a long sigh. He pinches his earlobe in embarrassment, a stark contrast to his usual ease.
이건 제가 예전에 금난 계곡에 막 들어갔을 때 만든 연구 보고서예요.
Oh, it's a research paper I wrote when I first joined. Artem, hi as a kite on pain meds. Yeah, sure. Yeah, he just says it's... Sorry, I didn't read it. I'm sorry. This is a research paper I wrote when I first joined Gladiolus Valley.
다른 기관에 분석을 맡기면 아마 꽤 오랜 시간이 걸리겠죠.
It would take a long time for other institutions to analyze it, wouldn't it?
논리라곤 전혀 없는 보고서의 내용을 보고 금난 계곡이 이렇게 쓴 건 분명 깊은 뜻이 있겠지라고 생각하셨겠지만
When reading parts of the report where it doesn't make sense, they might think that Gladiolus Valley must have a purpose writing it this way, but
사실 그냥 명백한 실수일 뿐이에요.
in reality, it was
그
just
당시
wrong.
저의 이상적인 가설일 뿐이죠.
It was simply an overly idealistic assumption I made. But why would it appear in that basement? No sooner has the word slipped out than she feels instant regrets. Rosa, you gotta learn when to keep your mouth shut. He has a pocket analyzer, right? She just gave him information for nothing. But Jerome Adams doesn't seem to care. He continues to flip through the page until he sees an anomaly.
여기 좀 보세요.
Look here. On the back of the documents are blank pages, except for one place with messy scribbles. So he is completely recovered. Oh my gosh. For example, comparing vegetable prices, supermarket discount items, and event rules.
누군가가 의미 없는 메모를 한 것 같네요.
Someone must have used it as scratch paper. He's like, yeah, this actually isn't important at all. Like, this is not evidence. Surely, like, this is just trash. I am stressed. His smile.
만약 이게 당신이 조사한 결과라면 그냥 당신을 속이기 위한 수단이었을 거예요.
If that's what you found, it's probably just a cover. Then he hands the paper back to her, smiling with embarrassment.
부끄럽네요. 이런 모습을 보이다니.
Oh, I'm embarrassed showing you such an image of myself. No, it happens to everyone. Thank you for your help. Based on the dates, it appears that he wrote it after the divorce. If this information is useless and just a cover, what exactly did my kidnapper want? Could it still be hidden in the basement? Let's go. Let's go back into the basement. I saw an investigation earlier, so I'm pretty sure we will. A middle-aged woman with a kind face rushes into the patient room. Jerome Adams exchanges a few pleasantries before leaving.
변호사님, 지온이는 힘겹게 병마와 싸우는 중이니 이만 가주셨으면 좋겠습니다.
Oh, Bridget is in a very difficult fight for, I guess, her life, right? Let's not disturb her anymore. A doodle of boys kissing? He didn't answer the question, right? Afterwards, they regroup at a park near the hospital. The stitches have been removed from his wounds and everything is healing well. She can't help but sigh after describing what happened. I didn't realize that the precious research data was just scratch paper. I would have thrown it away had I... No, don't throw evidence away. The good news is the important information didn't fall into the wrong hands. But the bad news is she doesn't have it either.
괜찮아요. 단서가 끊겼지만 새로운 발견도 있으니까요.
Oh, he's dressed like normally. Her life is so fragile. Yeah. It's just some wrong stuff I wrote way back when. It's the early draft of Tears of Themis. It's the first draft. This clue may have been a dead end, but we were able to discover something new. Mr. Wing, what do you mean?
어젯밤에 강혁 씨의 연락을 받았는데 정한성 씨의 부검 결과가 나왔다.
His autopsy report is out. We will find the cause of death. Do you remember? I know he must be covered. Actually, no. I don't remember what I was going to say. Oh, have you ever seen the beta for Tears of Themis? The beta art, right? And Artem looked really, really different. Like, not really, really different, but like different enough. He looked like really young, especially compared to some of the others. Never seen? I'll try and search it up later. But I remember being like, oh, they changed his design. Why Luke? Is the NSB also involved?
부검 결과에 금지 성분인 N2X가 발견되었다네요.
There were traces of N2X found. Ah! So he didn't die of thirst, but poisoning.
네. 부검 보고서에 따르면 정한성 씨의 사인은 N2X 과다 복용으로 인한 장기 부전이에요.
It was organ failure brought on by a one-time overdose of N2X.
하지만 전부터 영향을 받은 징후가 있는 걸로 봐서 꽤 오랜 기간
Acute throat cancer,
노출됐던
yeah.
것 같아요.
Which means he was previously exposed. Oh, sorry. His body also showed signs of long-term effects, which means he was previously exposed over a long time period. That's disturbing. This information is completely unexpected. Based on the crime scene, it did not look like he was poisoned. Is it related to the shattered cup?
네. 깨진 조각에 남은 잔여물을 검사해 봤는데 안에 담겨 있던 식수와 관련되어 있는 게 확실해요.
The broken shards were sent for analysis. It's certain that there were trace amounts in the drinking water that the cup once held.
그리고 암시장 약물을 국정원 특별조사팀에게 넘겨서 검사한 뒤 식수와 약물을 서로 비교해 봤는데
The black market drug was sent to the NSB special team for comparative analysis.
깨진 조각에서 검출된 약물과 암시장에서 유통되고 있는 약물은 같은 성분이 아니라고 하네요.
But the results concluded that the trace amounts found on the cup's fragments were not the same drug that was circulating on the black
암시장
market.
약물은 N2X 함량이 더 높고 치명적이에요.
The former tends to be a poison.
따로 연구해서 제조한 것 같아요.
Oh, which is more lethal. It should have been developed with a different formula.
컵 속 잔여물은 확실히 약물에 더 가깝지만
The latter
질병을 치료하기엔 역부족이고
is more similar to
부작용도 매우
medication.
심하죠.
Oops, sorry, I keep cutting him off. But however, it's an extremely low chance of curing a disease with strong side effects. I'm just eager to get to the end of the story now. Am I thinking of Vin poisoning Rosa? No! Felicia Lowe mentioned that, but what are the side effects?
지금 알려진 건 약물을 복용하면 장기 부전과
It's known to cause
현실
various
같은 환상을 본다는 거예요.
It's known to cause various lesions in the organs as well as vivid hallucinations.
옥상에서 추락해 사망한 허명준도 그 부작용의 피해자죠.
Oh, so he was mentally unwell. That's why Jonah Zahn, who fell to his death from the building, was a victim of the side effect. Thanks for reminding us about the death. It was a poison. He must have hallucinated something horrible, even though there was no one else on the roof. So much so that at this point, the case seems to have turned her imagination upside down. Mr. Wing, do we need to check the basement again? What he really hid might still be there. If found, it might contain information that points to the real killer. I guess it was maybe scratch paper. Yeah, Rosa's just like, what is happening? Rosa is like us. For some reason, the truth is right there in front of her, but she's not happy about it. It feels like she's missed something important. This is Luke. Yeah, I'm like, this mess is not Rosa's apartment. This mess is Luke. Okay, with the task over, Luke tosses his motorcycle keys on the table. He's still riding his motorcycle. The key slides across the table and strikes a glass bottle in the center with a crisp sound. Luke frowns, picking up the empty drug bottle.
没想到，居然和黑市药物的成分不一样。那它的副作用究竟会是什么？
To think the ingredients would be different from the black market drug. What exactly are its side effects?
算了，
Did you miss that the doodle that Jerome's first paper was about was N2X? Yeah, forget it. With a chuckle, he tosses the drug bottles and the note signed by Oedipus into the trash. Okay, investigate this and then trial. I'm almost there. Feel free to go to sleep though, if you need to. But yeah. Why is he still riding it though? Isn't he like suffering? The next day, police investigation concludes on the second visit of this remote basement. The crime scene will remain on lockdown until a critical development in the case. I didn't expect Brad Grease to be poisoned by a cup of water. It's still hard for her to accept the result. I wonder what other clues we're missing.
서두르지 않아도 돼요. 경찰이 이곳을 최초로 발견했으니 증거가 훼손되진 않았을 거예요.
Since the police were the first to arrive at the crime scene, none of the evidence should have been tampered with.
저희는 천천히 찾아내기만 하면 돼요.
Yeah. All we have to do is to take our time to find it slowly. Okay. So you're just tired? You'll leave soon? Okay. Yeah, Luke got a note too. Yeah, let's get started. Why is like Jerome's focus like so fixated on Luke right now? There are 5 pieces of evidence. Okay. Oh, I clicked on this earlier. Previously, Felicia Lowe mentioned that she smelled a stench. Paying careful attention to this information, she turns her head to the 2 iron barrels. What do the words on the barrel mean? It looks like unintelligible characters.
조금 생소한 단어이긴 하지만 제 기억이 맞다면 아마 새로운 난연성 도료일 거예요.
These words are uncommon. If I recall correctly, they contain a new type of fire retardant coating. She looks inside. Much of the coating has already solidified, giving off a peculiar smell. She's already... Oh, I guess that must be like what Felicia had smelled. Daily expenses are recorded meticulously. I'm gonna do this fast because I need to know where this is going. Oh, the rat trap! Oh, the rat trap. Here, you go find it. I can't bend down right now. Right? That's true. Artem can't bend over right now. I mean, what? There are many tools scattered on the basement floor. Many of them have signs of wear and tear, which means Brad Crease probably tried to use them to break through the door. Among the tools, she notices a mousetrap in the corner. There are traces of something in this mousetrap.
일어나요. 제가 한번 볼게요.
Get up, let me take a look. Artem, no! No, you can't. Artem sees her frown and crouches down to inspect it in her stead.
쥐덫 철사가 이미 풀린 걸 보니 이미 사용된 것 같네요.
Yeah, the mousetrap has already been triggered.
하지만 피해 흔적은 아닌 것 같아요.
But it doesn't seem to be just blood. Later, they confirm with the officers what happened when the police first entered the basement. According to them, there was a rotting corpse of a rat in the mousetrap. The rat, deemed unrelated to his death, was disposed of before they arrived because the stench was so overwhelming. The stench. Felicia Lowe said she smelled a stench. She thought the stench originated from a corpse, and she was misled by the mysterious person on the phone to believe he had died.
네. 죽은 쥐의 시체 냄새를 맡았을 가능성이 큰 것 같네요.
She might have smelled the rat. Oh. Jerome interested in Luke because he has... Yeah, maybe Jerome is sick because he also has the same illness. That's interesting. That's an interesting, like, way for the story to go, right? She re-examines the shelves where she found the pharmaceutical files. There are novels from ancient times here telling stories of the supernatural. It seems more like something Felicia Lowe would read. She flips through the books. Not expecting to find anything special, she flips through another page. Is this blood? The pages are unusually wrinkled. She flips to a page to find it speckled with lots of blood. Or dots of blood. Artem sees this and quickly takes the book from her hands.
네, 아마 맞을 거예요.
Wow. He's really got to stop, like, being so protective, though. He's like, you don't need to look at that. Like... I get it, Artem, okay? But it's okay. She's almost seen a dead body. She should be okay. She can handle this. Why would there be blood in this book? Was it left by Brad Grace? Yeah, stop being a knight. You are injured.
빗자국의 크기가 거의 일정한 걸 보니 책을 펼치면서 남긴 것 같아요.
Judging by the size and spacing, they made when his fingers touched the
만약
page.
그게 맞다면 아마 정한성 씨의 피겠죠.
If so, it's likely that he did it. Oh, right. He did hurt his fingers while locked in the basement. He clawed at the door trying to escape. According to the police, all 10 of his fingers were badly mangled when his body was discovered. Oof. Why would he look through all these books? Because he missed Felicia? Why this page? The sentences in the books are obscured by blood, leaving only a few words legible. It can't be helped. I'll search for the full text on my phone later. I think there was one more thing here. No, there wasn't. Okay. Okay, I knew it! I knew this rhino stood out too much. I can't believe she thought this was a horse. Glasses nerd stabbed the mafia lady. Yeah! Yeah, it's okay, Artem. Not missing a detail, she spots an ornament on the workbench. Is this wooden statue a rhinoceros? She carefully plucks it up and it feels a little heavier than expected. When she shakes it, she can hear something inside. I think there's something inside!
넣을 수 있다면 빼낼 수도 있을 거예요. 어떻게 꺼내는지 살펴보죠.
Since it was put in, it can be taken out. Look for a way to open it. There's a distinct gap. Artem tries to force it open, but it doesn't budge after several attempts.
그냥 비틀어서 열어도 되지만 혹시 모르니 폭력적인 방법은 사용하지 않는 게 좋겠어요.
We can attempt to pry it open, but let's not resort to such a rough method just in case. You're right. It'll do more harm than good if we accidentally break what's inside. Look here. The rhinoceros figure is almost entirely made of wood, but there's something peculiar about its horn. Artem pinches it slightly.
양초인 것 같네요.
It looks like a candle. A candle. It seems like the body of the figurine is a candle holder.
네, 흰 양초가 마침 뿔을 대신하고 있어서 꽤 조화로워요.
The white candle takes the place of the rhinoceros' horn, so it isn't out of place. She suddenly remembers the burnt red candles nearby. Red and white symbolizing the greatest joys and sorrows of life. It just so happens that there are both red and white candles here. The image of them together creates an indescribable feeling. Okay, let me see. What else is there to check? Oh! She taps on the body. It is clearly hollow. Something is hidden in the abdomen. She flips it over and almost drops it on the ground. Yeah, pull harder. You can be rough, not with your ribs. Yeah, he might be in pain. And, okay. So we now need one more piece of evidence. I was like, maybe I can try to remember, but I don't remember. Oh, here. She looks at the candle wax. There's a circular gap. Earlier, it was confirmed through the wax that the cup was on the workbench. But what's different is it's uncertain whether the cup contained water. Something feels strange. According to the candle wax, the cup was left on the table until the candles burned out. If we assume one candle was burned every day, that means 7 days had passed. Why didn't he take a sip from the cup of water?
정한성 씨가 모든 걸 다 알고 있는 상태에서 물을 마셨다면 말이 되죠.
He drank the water knowing. Exactly.
만약 그렇다면 그 물도 정한성 씨 본인이 남겼을 가능성이 커요.
He left that by himself. Why not the killer?
범인이 손을 쓰고 싶었다면 더욱 깔끔한 방법이 많았을 거예요.
If the killer wanted to kill him, there are more efficient ways to do so.
단지 고통받게 하고 싶었다면 아무것도 하지 않아도 목말라 죽었을 거고.
If the killer wanted to torture him, he would have died of thirst without needing to do anything.
어떤 의도로든 물을 일부러 놓아서 증거로 남길 필요가 없었을
There's no
거예요.
need to leave a cup of water as evidence. He poisoned himself? So why did he keep the cup of water? Something feels off. Yeah, I'm confused. With another thorough search of the basement, she immediately takes out her phone. Oops. Through the full legible words left in the strange novel, she finds the full text, which was obscured by blood. When Wen Chao of Eastern Jin passed through Nejuji, he heard music from the river, from under the river, which looked deep and immeasurable. Numerous monsters were rumored to be living under the water. Wen Chao quickly lit up a rhinoceros horn and held it to the water. As he expected, he saw many strange monsters coming to put out the fire, burning a rhinoceros horn. This can't be a coincidence, right? She looks at the rhinoceros statue again. Its horn is made from candle wax, and the only purpose of the candles is to be burnt.
한두 개라면 단순한 우연이라고 생각할 수 있겠지만
A single occurrence can be explained as a coincidence, but
하지만 모든 게 그 하나만을 가리킨다면
when all information
누군가가
points to it,
설계한 필연이라고 봐야죠.
somebody else might have seen it as a premeditated necessity. He picks up the rhinoceros statue and holds it close to his nose for a whiff. His frown eases slightly as though his suspicion has been confirmed. Did you find something?
아주 희미하지만 조각품에 난연성 도료의 냄새가 남아 있어요.
There is a faint smell of fire retardant coating on this rhinoceros statue. She understands the meaning. The coating, strange novel, and the red candles have been burned. All this points to the same outcome: burning the rhinoceros horn. So burn it, and they can open it, right? That's nice. That's very clever. Okay, almost time for the case. Oh my god, I'm so anxious about how this is all going to turn out. This story. Rosa informs the police officers at the crime scene of her plans to burn the rhinoceros horn. Because of the basement no longer containing any more evidence related to the murder, soon she receives verbal approval for her bold plan. Then I'll light it. With a lighter borrowed from one of the police, she aims a tiny flame at the white candle disguised as a horn. A flame spreads from top to the candle, which is the only warm glow in the dark. According to the previous estimates, it will take about 15 minutes to burn. Did we do it right? Artem nods firmly.
정한성 씨는 이 메시지를 저희에게 남긴 게 분명해요.
Brad Grease has certainly left us a clear message.
타오르는 컵불소의 불이 무슨 뜻인지 알아요?
Do you know the meaning of burning a rhinoceros horn? Burning a rhinoceros horn. While the two police officers report to the superior, she takes the opportunity to confirm the meaning again. When Wen Chao passed through Nejuji, he looked at the lake, its depth unfathomable, and remembered the rumors of water monsters. So he lit up a rhinoceros horn and held it to the water. Sure enough, he saw many strange
이
monsters.
이야기 이후로 타오르는 콧불소의 뿔에는 더욱 깊은 의미가 파생되었어요.
The burning rhinoceros horn also conveys a deep meaning to this message.
분별력을 가지면 어둠 속 죄악이 드러난다는 거예요.
Evil cannot be concealed from a perceptive eye. The candle has burned itself out before she knows it. Deep in the socket that held the rhinoceros horn with a small mechanism, when gently nudged, the clasp loosens, separating the head from the body of the statue at the joint and revealing what is hidden inside. A USB drive and a small tube of liquid. The color looks like the same as the black market drug.
네, 돌아가서 바로 검사해 봐야겠네요.
We can send it for analysis. If by some strange coincidence she and Brian Grease were both investigating the same thing. No, perhaps this wasn't a coincidence. Every development, every action seems to be writing on the wall. And the answer that they've been looking for should be contained in this drive. But there are a few things that need to be confirmed before that. From the looks of it, the pharmaceutical report was just a cover. These are the two things that Brad Grease really wanted to hide and give to the police or Felicia Lowe. He anticipated that the police might not notice it. Felicia, who would come after hearing of his death, would stumble across these clues and find these things quickly. Most of the fortune-telling methods that Felicia Lowe mastered were used to deceive people. But because of this, she must have dabbled in the knowledge of supernatural beings, superstitions, and legends in order to convince her clients.
사실 처음부터 정한성 씨가 한 수많은 행동들은 다른 사람에게 증거가 발견되지 않도록 하기 위함이었어요.
From the very beginning, much of what he did was to keep evidence from falling into the wrong hands. Yeah.
조급해하지 말고 조급해하.
Really? The vital signs monitoring? He may have sensed that his life was in danger. To prevent those who wanted to stop his investigation, he agreed to be an organ donor to acquire a vital signs bracelet through an organ donation organization. That way, medical personnel or police would inevitably be the first to discover. Oh, I see. Even if Felicia Lowe discovered it first, the information would eventually be handed over to the police and attract enough attention.
게다가 그는 장치가 달린 콧불소 나무 조각품에 증거를 숨겨뒀어요.
Yes, he also hid the physical evidence.
그를 노리던 사람이 문을 열어주는 척하거나 근처에 있던 목격자로 위장해 이곳에 잠입하는 등 특수한 상황이었다 해도
If someone who had been keeping tabs on him pretended to be a helper who broke in or a witness nearby who entered,
그렇게 큰 조각품을 몰래 들고 가거나 열지는 못했을 거예요.
there would be no way to take away such a large sculpture unnoticed, let alone open it on the spot.
그런 상황이라면 제약 자료야말로 가장 눈에 띄고 가져가기 쉬우면서 가장 쓸모없는 것이었겠죠.
The most conspicuous and easiest thing to take would be the pharmaceutical records, but they were also the most useless. Oh, so Jerome's papers were kind of useless. If that's the case, it would prove that whoever targeted Brad Grease never entered the basement. Otherwise, the cover-up pharmaceutical report and the rhinoceros horn containing evidence would have been seized long ago. It also proves that the cup filled with poisonous water was placed there by Brad Grease himself. There's no killer? Did he commit suicide?
아니요. 범인은 존재할 거예요.
There's still a killer.
직접적인 방법이 아닌 다른 방법을 통해 간접적으로 죽였을
But
거예요.
instead of dealing with him directly, the killer must have driven him into a corner through some other means.
자신이 죽어야만 상황이 끝나고 가족들이 안전할 거라고 협박당했을 수도 있죠.
Perhaps through threats to make him feel like he had to die for things to go away, for his family to be safe. Realizing that his death was near, instead of being passive, at that moment, she's vaguely able to understand Brad Grease. Faced with an inevitably bad situation, he managed to maximize the value of the misfortune. But even so, she still has questions. Why did he choose such a long and painful way to end his life? He struggled through a long period of torture. The scratches on the door were proof of that, weren't they?
왜일까요?
Why? Archon walked slowly to a corner of the basement, looking at the mousetrap with the rotting corpse.
나수양 씨가 그를 어떤 사람이라고 표현했는지 기억해요?
You remember how Felicia Lowe described him? I remember she said he was timid and cowardly.
그게 이유예요.
That was the reason.
손해를 보고도 상대와 싸우지 못할 정도로 겁이 많은 사람은 스스로 목숨을 끊을 수 없어요.
A timid person who won't dare fight against an enemy would find it even harder to take matters into his own hands. Following his line of sight, she also looks at the corner. A rat trapped in a basement has only two options: starve to death or risk near certain death by eating food from the trap. Overcome with starvation, after several tentative attempts and much hesitation. No matter how reluctant it is and what path it chooses, it has to accept the end of its life after struggling. So to achieve that, he made sure to create an environment where he couldn't escape. And in the end, he gave himself no choice but to die. Oh no. Oh man, when Beck sees this, that's so sad. He had been investigating black market drugs. As a former researcher, he knew they contained N2X. Drinking water with a high concentration of N2X would have been the most suspicious way for him to die, but he didn't dare to, so he came up with another way. Once the basement was thoroughly locked with no way to escape, he couldn't back out. His thirst for water, his instinct for survival would not stop him from executing his plan.
부검 보고에 따르면 정한성 씨의 몸은 이미 약물의 영향을 받고 있었어요.
He'd long been affected by drugs.
장기 기증 동의서에는 생체 신호 모니터링 팔찌를 받을 수 있는 것 외에
Besides
더
getting
중요한 포인트가 있어요.
the important thing about the organ donation agreement, besides giving him a vital signs bracelet, was
장기 기증 전 병원에서 각 장기가 이식 기준에 충족하는지에 대한 여부를 정밀 검사해요.
The hospital would conduct a detailed examination of each organ to determine whether it meets the criteria for organ
만약
transplants.
극심한 탈수로 사망했다고 해도 시신이 가장 중요한 증거가 될 수 있을
Even
거예요.
if he died of evidence, his body would be evidence. Died of thirst, his body would be evidence. Since he was locked in the basement, no wonder the window was open. Though it was possible for a person to get through the railing, it was easy to throw a key outside. How could Brad Grease be sure that someone wouldn't just pick up the key? After his death, the basement would become a murder scene. If someone broke in during that time, they would probably leave evidence behind.
아무래도 문을 고의로 따지 않고 열쇠로 들어왔을 테니 조심만 한다면 증거를 남기지 않았을 수도 있어요.
With the key, someone could have entered the basement without getting caught if they were careful enough.
아니면 상대가 정한성 씨가 사망하기 전에 발견했을 가능성도 있고요. 그렇다면 더더욱 경찰의 의심을 사지 않겠죠.
There's another scenario where the person who found Brad Grease before his death wouldn't arouse police suspicion. He speaks while looking at the small window.
그렇게 만약 열쇠가 풀숲에 계속 버려져 있지 않고 누군가가 곧 주워갈 거.
Hang on.
그렇게 하기엔 리스크가 너무 크죠.
But that's a big risk.
만약 열쇠가 풀숲에 계속 버려져 있지 않고 누군가가 곧 주워갈 거라는 걸 알고 있었다면 모르지만요.
But he might have known that someone would pick up the key soon enough. That means someone else knew of his plans.
열쇠에는 어떤 지문도 남아있지 않았어요. 하지만 정한성 씨가 열쇠를 버리기 전 본인의 지문까지 지울 이유는 전혀 없었죠.
No fingerprints were found on the key, but Brad Grease had no reason to wipe the key down before throwing it away.
나수양 씨에게 열쇠의 위치를 알려준 사람만이 지문을 지웠을 수밖에
It could have
없어요.
been wiped down by whoever told Felicia Lowe where the key was. Yeah, that phone call again. Hearing this, she can't help but shudder. To this day, no information about the mysterious man has been acquired, but he seems to be everywhere. It seems all our hopes lie in this USB drive. Time for the trial. Oh my god. N2X headquarters. Is anyone even here? The tube of drugs she submitted quickly comes back with results. It's confirmed that its ingredients are identical to the drugs circulating in the back market. As for the USB drive, she's heard that it contains detailed information about the drug. So detailed that it's as though he researched it himself. Aside from that, the only thing remaining is an audio file.
그럼 재생할게요.
Let's begin. Yes. After connecting the USB, they hear Brad Grease's voice for the first time. We didn't. It begins with a nervous greeting, which he stumbles through. Even without seeing the picture, she can see how awkward he was. As time goes on, he gradually gets used to it, like talking to an old friend. Parts of it are improvised, but she babbles on other parts. One thing is clear. He was sincere.
저는 제 아내 나수양을 아주 사랑해요.
Oh no, not this. His voice. I forgot he had a nice voice.
어릴 때부터 사람들이 전 똑똑하고 성적도 좋으니 미래는 걱정 없을 거라고 했어요. 하지만 아내만이 제가 앞으로 행복하고 무탈할 거라고 말해줬죠. 나중에는 그냥 사주를 봐줄 때 하는 형식적인 말일 뿐 모두 거짓말이었고 제게 진실을 말해준 후에 전 더 이상 아내가 거짓말쟁이가 아니라고 생각했어요.
After she told me the truth, I thought she wasn't a liar.
우리 딸 지원이도 정말 사랑해요. 아내는 자기가 너무 많은 죄를 지어서 지원이가 병을 안고 태어난 것 같다고 했어요. 전 그런 말을 믿지는 않지만 만일 정말이라면 제가 덕을 쌓아서 부족함을 채우면 돼요. 그럼 지원이도 건강하게 자라주겠죠. 그러기 위해서 열심히 일하고 열심히 살아갈 거예요. 병원에선 환자의 가족들끼리 서로 소통하고 응원해주는데 한 번은 우연히 암시장에 유통되고 있다는 약물에 대해 듣게 되었어요. 온갖 불치병을 치료해줄 수 있다고 하더라고요. 마침 제 전공이라 몇 개 사와서 분석해 보았어요. 왠지 익숙해 보이는 성분이었지만 제 추측이 틀리길 바랐죠. 그냥 못 본 척하기로 마음먹었고 제 돈을 훔쳐 약을 사려던 아이에게도 그저 몇 마디 꾸짖기만 했어요. 얼마 후 그 아이의 어머니는 돌아가셨고 그 뒤로 병원에서는 그 아이를 보지 못했어요.
Oh, it's all connected. Is that what made him decide to come clean?
헤이슨이 무너진 건 매우 감명 깊었어요. 점점 더 많은 피해자들이 이를 통해 치유받길 원하고 있다는 걸 알게 되었죠. 하지만 결과는 더욱 참담할 뿐이었고 결국 고민 끝에 제가 나서기로 했어요. 안타깝게도 실패하는 바람에 모든 자료를 빼앗기고 생명의 위협을 받았지만요. 가족들까지 피해를 받지 않도록 아내와 이혼하고 몰래 숨을 수밖에 없었어요. 하지만 얼마 지나지 않아 지온이가 암시장 약물을 복용해 병이 악화되었다는 소식을 들었어요. 지온이가 약을 샀을 리는 없고 아내도 절대 지온이의 병을 갖고 장난칠 리도 없는데 말이에요. 어쩌다 이렇게 되었는지 제가 못 본 척하는 바람에 결국 제 딸이 벌을 대신 받는 모양입니다.
No.
전 영웅이 되고 싶었어요. 아니, 되고 싶었다기보다 영웅은 무언가를 원해서 영웅이 되는 게 아니에요. 무언가를 원치 않아서 어쩔 수 없이 영웅이 되는 거거든요. 젊은 나이에 죽고 싶은 사람이 어디 있겠어요? 예로부터 그런 사람들은 차고 넘쳤어요. 어쩔 도리가 없는 건 저뿐만이 아니니 불공평하다고 생각하면 안 되겠죠. 용감한 자는 영원히 사라지지 않는다는 말이 있듯이 저도 죽는 게 아니라 그저 살아서 이곳을 떠나는 것뿐이에요. 비록 지금은 전부 이해가 되지만 미래의 저는 두려워하고 후회하고 주저할 거예요. 목적을 달성하고 이 사건을 모두에게 알리기 위해 저는 살인자가 되어 미래의 저를 죽이기로 결심했어요. 어쩌면 내가 나를 탓할지도 모르죠. 하지만 용감한 저도 겁쟁이인 저도 전부 저이기에 감사할 겁니다.
After listening to the recording, Rose and Artem fall into a long silence. For one thing, it was his decision. Right or wrong, things turn out the way he had hoped. The black market drug has been removed from circulation. On the other hand, the monologue tells the entire story, but it's missing the most critical information. Why didn't he reveal the most important parts? Why did the ingredients look familiar, and who was threatening him? The answers that she was expecting didn't come. Her mind is filled with questions that nobody can answer. The voice that was talking in the recording belongs to the past. He's no longer around to answer her questions.
누군가와 거래를 한 걸까요?
Deal?
정한성 씨는 바보가 아니에요.
Yeah, he's not an idiot.
자신이 이런 행동을 하면 상대가 아내와 딸에게 손을 댈 거라는 걸 알았을 거예요.
He would have known that his bold actions would endanger his wife and daughter.
그럼에도 불구하고 이렇게 했다는 건 그런 걱정은 이미 존재하지 않았다는 거죠.
But he did it anyway, which proves that the concern was not anything valid. No longer valid. Suddenly she remembers the conversation with the mysterious man in the sauna.
탓하고 싶으면 경찰을 탓하라고.
You want to blame someone, blame the police.
나수양을 데리고 가는 바람에 어쩔 수 없이 타깃을 바꿨거든. 안 그랬으면 지금쯤 당신은 발 뻗고 자고 있었겠지.
If they hadn't kept Felicia Lowe locked up, I wouldn't have needed to change targets, and you would be sleeping comfortably in your bed. It was for her protection. To this day, she thought the caller was deceiving Felicia Lowe, but thinking about it, whether it's her making a fuss or tricking her into being a suspect or getting her arrested by the police, what happened is exactly what he wanted. To expose the black market drugs and protect his wife and daughter. If the bargain is to keep these misdeeds a secret, doesn't that go against his original intentions? After all, the very purpose of his sacrifice was to expose those misdeeds.
그 거래는 분명 그렇게 단순하지 않았을 거예요.
That deal is definitely not as simple as that. Artem snorts slightly, his eyes sharp as if he's about to go on the offensive.
자신을 감출 필요도 없을 정도로 상대가 아주 똑똑한 모양이에요.
That person is smart, too smart to bother covering his tracks. The matter must be related to Gladiolus Valley Research Center. Despite knowing this, there's nothing either of them can do.
괜찮아요. 그 재판부터 시작해 서서히 상대의 자신감을 무너뜨리면 되니까요.
We can start with the trial, and yeah, it doesn't matter. We can start with the trial, then gradually chip away at that person's confidence.
원하는 대로 하지 못하게 하는 것도 변호사의 일 중 하나잖아요.
Not giving a person what they want is also another part of being an attorney.
경찰 쪽에도 나수양 씨와 정지원의 안전을 보장해 달라고 요구해 놓을게요.
I'll ask the police.
그 전까지만
Ask
잘 부탁해요.
the police to put a security detail on Felicia Lowe and Bridget agrees. The rest is up to you. Or yeah, I'll leave the rest up to you. Yeah, I'll do my best. The trial might be more extraordinary than the previous ones. No matter how well she performs in court, the final conclusion is that there is no killer. But she's always believed that even if there's no killer, it doesn't mean that Brad Grease has not been wronged. Because Brad Grease's death changed things for the better doesn't mean his death was worth it. Oh man. This game.
지금부터 피고인 나수양의 정한성 살인 사건에 대한 재판을 시작하겠습니다.
Am I even gonna have time for my walk? Oh my god. The court is now in session.
검찰 측 사건에 대해 모두 진술해 주세요.
검찰은 피고인 나수양을 기소합니다. 피고인 나수양은 피해자 정한성과 부부관계였습니다. 피해자는 불화로 인해 이혼을 제기했고, 이에 나수양은 원한을 품고 남몰래 살인을 결심했습니다.
Does there even need to be this considering the confession? But sure.
정한성을 외진 지하실에 가두고 식수에 독을 타 죽음에 이르도록 하였습니다. 사건 현장에서 발견된 부적 역시 피고인이 직접 그린 것으로 확인되었고요. 또한 신문 과정 중 피고인은 여러 차례 정한성에 대한 불만을 토로했고 범죄 사실도 인정했습니다. 이에 검찰은 나수양의 범행 동기가 명확하고 증거가 충분하다고 판단합니다.
피고 측 이해 있나요?
당연하죠. 전 제 남편을 죽이지 않았어요. 돈 때문에 더더욱 아니고요.
Yeah, definitely not true.
이전에 죄를 인정한 건 그저 판을 키워서 진범을 찾기 위해서였다고요.
Your Honor, I believe that there are major flaws in the prosecution's chain of evidence. Felicia Lowe gave the talisman to many people, so the incident is not unique. Besides, the talisman had nothing to do with his death, and that alone cannot be used to convict her.
변호인이 변론을 인정합니다. 원고, 피고인을 피의자로 지목할 수 있는 다른 증거가 있습니까?
정한성 씨는 이혼 전 개인 상해보험에 가입했습니다. 거액의 보험금의 수익자는 다름 아닌 피고인이었습니다. 피고인은 무직에 경제적으로 힘든 상황입니다. 이혼 후 보험금을 손에 넣기 위해 피해자를 살해했을 동기가 충분합니다.
Objection. She has plenty of money to spend, therefore she has no need to take such a desperate risk. The evidence. According to the divorce settlement, Brad Grease was left with nothing after giving most of his assets to Felicia. The money was more than enough for Felicia to pay for her daughter's medical bills. Considering her daughter's life was still in danger, she didn't need to take such a risk.
있습니다.
Her daughter was still in treatment.
딸의 상황이 좋지 않기 때문에 피고인은 끝없는 치료비를 대기 위해 범행을 저질렀던 것입니다.
With endless medical bills piling up, she was forced to commit murder.
게다가 조사에 의하면 정한성 씨는 위축된 성격이라 이혼 합의서를 작성할 당시 협박을 받았을 가능성도 무시할 수 없습니다. 원래 부부 사이가 좋지 않았기 때문에 피고인이 정한성 씨를 해칠 동기 역시 충분합니다. 경찰이 첫 신문을 했을 때 피고인이 직접 인정한 내용입니다.
Objection. If she really did that for the money, her voluntary confession is tantamount to nullifying the insurance policy. Furthermore, she was incapable of poisoning Brad Grease. The evidence that proves that she was incapable. No. Oh, whoops. I picked the wrong one. The analysis confirmed that he died of organ failure after drinking water that contained the banned substance N2X, which is a compound with a different ratio. She does not have the relevant expertise, nor could she have come in contact with such substances. Therefore, she did not put poison in the water.
그렇다면 변호사님, 피고인은 어떻게 결정적인 증거인 지하실 열쇠를 가지고 있었을까요? 이는 피고인이 정한성 씨를 지하실에 가뒀을 가능성이 충분하다고 볼 수 있습니다.
Objection. Providing evidence doesn't mean that she's the owner of the evidence. Besides, Brad Grease already knew that there was something wrong with the water. The evidence that proves that he knew. No. Oops. No? Is it really this? There was a circular outline of candle wax around the bottom of the cup. It proves he didn't pick up the cup of water until the candles burnt out. When he was near his physical limit, he drank the water in one go and died of poisoning. Generally speaking, someone trapped would be desperate for any source of water, which makes it hard to hold out for that long, unless he knew there was something wrong with the water.
있습니다. 이건 그저 변호인 측의 주관적인 판단으로 구체적인 초의 연소 시간을 증명할 수 있는 증거는 어디에도 없습니다. 정한성 씨가 물에 문제가 있다는 것을 알았더라도 피고인의 혐의가 없어지는 건 아닙니다. 정한성 씨가 독을 타는 장면을 직접 목격했거나 독이 있다는 것을 이미 알고 있었을 가능성도 있습니다.
Objection. His movements were not restrained. If he was, like the prosecution speculates, he could have dumped the cup of water. He did not do so because no one else poisoned the water. He did it himself. So we believe there's no killer in this case. It was a suicide. Alicia Lowell stares at her in disbelief, her eyes bulging wide.
자살? 그럴 리가.
How did Rosa not tell the client about all of this information in advance?
제 남편은 자살할 이유가 없어요. 이건 분명 잘못됐어.
변호인, 자살 사건이라고 이의를 제기했는데 이에 대한 증거를 제시하길 바랍니다.
The evidence that proves he committed suicide. According to his confession, he tried to inform the authorities of the dangerous black market drugs. However, not only were his attempts thwarted, but he also received death threats. To keep his family safe, he chose to go into hiding. He chose not to be locked up in that basement with the information he gathered to ensure it gets out to the public. In the end, he chose to kill himself so more people could be saved from the drug. This is his motive for committing suicide.
변호사님, 지금 농담하시는 거죠?
Are you joking with me?
제 남편이 그 성격에 그런 일을 했을 리가. 뭔가 잘못된 거 아닌가요?
I understand that in your own way you wanted to help the patients who were suffering from drug abuse. He did the same thing as you.
아니야, 오해일 거야. 아니면 그 사람이 사기를 당해서 충동적으로 그런 게 분명해.
In a way.
그 사람 성격상 이런 사건에 휘말릴 리가 없다고요.
He didn't do it in the heat of the moment. On the contrary, it was the result of his careful consideration. It was the cup of water that ultimately killed him. Even before that, he was showing signs of long-term effects from the drugs. The evidence that he showed... Oh, this is the autopsy report. He agreed to be an organ donor before his death. It comes with a vital signs bracelet, which allows hospitals and the police to be first responders. At the same time, a detailed examination of the deceased body is required before organ donation. So even if he didn't end up drinking the cup of water, he would be able to expose the dangers of black market drugs to the world through his own corpse. He'd been working on this plan for some time. He could have quit at any time, but the thought never crossed his mind.
당신이 뭘 알아요? 남편은 여리고 겁도 많아서 밖에서 큰 소리 내는 것조차 못했다고요.
This poor woman.
그럴 용기는
We have to argue with her, don't we? I don't want to. I feel so bad.
범인이 있어요. 분명 누군가가 그를 죽였다고요.
Oh no.
본법정은 피고인에 대한 검찰의 기소가 증거 불충분으로 성립되지 않는다고 판단한다. 피고인 나수향에게 무죄를 선고합니다.
Despite the verdict being a complete victory, the defendant Felicia Lowe looks as pale as death. Sometimes the truth is not necessarily refreshing. It may even be crueler than a lie. Yeah, this whole thing. No matter what, the truth is the truth. Felicia, it was because he was a timid man that he had to come up with the basement that would claim his life. Just like what you said before. It was the cowardice that prevented him from hurting anyone, which made him a kind man. After everything he did, I believe he may have been timid, but he wasn't a coward, right?
맞아요.
Man, she's such a good voice actress.
재판을 대정합니다.
The end is here. Because of Brad Grease's death, Felicia Lowe will have to undergo psychotherapy for a long time after her release, yeah. Although the result is irreversible, at least she still has the opportunity to make a decision. Will she spend a lifetime stuck in her past memories, or will she move on and start a new life? That's her life, and she's free to make that choice. Taking this into consideration, she doesn't rush to ask Felicia Lowe about the talisman. Instead, she and Artem decide to visit Bridget, who has just woken up. Her doctor said she is making a miraculous recovery. Just like in Brad Grease's prayers, she appears to be one of the few patients who can take the black market drug without suffering from any side effects. Bridget? The girl stops drawing and looks up at her in confusion. Hi there, my name is Rosa, and I'm a friend of your mother. How are you doing? How are you feeling? Do you feel any discomfort? The girl smiles and shakes her head. Good. What are you drawing? Why is she only smiling? Why doesn't she say anything? Artem walks into the room. Sensing her doubts, he looks at the girl in the hospital bed and explains.
방금 주치 얘기 들었는데 지온이는 어릴 적부터 실어증을 앓고 있는 모양이에요.
She suffered from aphasia.
나수양 씨와 정한성 씨가 이혼하기 전까지만 해도 간단한 단어 정도는 구사할 수 있었다고 해요.
She could only say a few simple sentences before her parents got divorced.
하지만 그 뒤로 심리적인 문제 때문에 말을 한 적이 없다고 하네요.
Because of that, she never spoke again after the divorce.
그래도 전에 심리 치료를 받은 적도 있고 해서 앞으로도 치료는 계속할 모양이에요.
Oh man. She's been in psychotherapy for a while and is expected to continue to do so. Meeting the girl's innocent eyes, Artem smiles tenderly at her.
걱정 마.
Don't worry.
좋아질 거야.
She'll get better. Yeah, he's right. Don't worry. You'll be fine. The girl nods and begins to scribble with the crayon on a pad. Then she holds the pad up. The lines seem to be random and look like words, but there's no way to decipher their meaning. Artem seems to think of something, presses his lips together for a moment. What is it?
제 기억이 맞다면 실어증 환자 중 거울상 실서증을 보이는 경우가 있어요.
Mirror writing might occur in some patients with aphasia. Mirror writing. She speaks as she takes a picture of the lines, which are then converted. Soon, the cluttered lines that look like graffiti transform into a few familiar and simple words that read, "Thank you." Rosa and Artem exchange a glance. Without saying much, he nods and pulls up a photo of a talisman on his phone. After a conversion. Oh! The lines that seem meaningless become clear.
무병장수.
Longevity. There are no secrets hidden in the talisman. It's simply a blessing. Oh. Like the couplets and decorations that can be seen during Spring Festival. Did Felicia Lowe copy her daughter's handwriting? If so, the reason why Gerard received an identical piece of paper is... Her heartbeat quickens and she can almost hear the blood rushing in her ears. She crouches down, trying to suppress her urgency. Bridget, do you know Gerard? The girl tilts her head in confusion, then nods. Then do you know where he went? This time, she doesn't nod her head. Instead, she writes a few words with her pen. A good place. Can you tell me where that is? I don't know. She smiles, raising her plump finger and putting it to her lips to make a silent gesture. Before she can ask, a familiar voice sends a chill down her
우리
spine.
또 만났네요.
What a coincidence, we meet again.
옆에 계신 분은 백은우 변호사님이시죠? 말씀 많이 들었습니다.
This must be the famous Mr. Artem Wing. I've heard a lot about you. Why? Don't leave Artem alone! Artem looks coldly at him. So he's met everyone but Marius at this point.
반갑습니다.
Nice to meet you. When the girl sees Jerome, she immediately starts scribbling. After she passes the pad to Jerome, he is able to decipher its meaning without using any tools. The lines form a sentence longer than the previous ones. After I get better, will mommy and daddy get back together and come back?
그건 말이야.
About that. Jerome Adams offers his palm tenderly to the girl and helps her off the hospital bed. He deftly avoids the question.
아빠는 여행을 끝내고 종착역에서 쉬고 계셔.
Your father's trip is finally over, and he's resting at the final station.
근데 아저씨는 지온이가 아빠를 급하게 찾으려고 하지 않았으면 좋겠어. 천천히 가다 보면 언젠가는 만날 수 있을 테니까.
I don't want you rushing to catch up to him. Just take your time. It'll come one day. Why does that sound like a threat?
그 전에 먼저 산책하러 나갈까?
Until then, why don't
지온이
we take a walk?
친구가 공원에서 기다리고 있는데.
Your friends are waiting downstairs in the park. Jerome Adams can't help looking at the happy girl, then turns to greet Rose
그럼
Adam.
먼저 가보겠습니다.
Then we'll go ahead first. His tone is easygoing. His movements seem natural, but because of that, watching him leave, her mind goes back to what Julian once said.
우태양이 다가가니까 그 사람이 친근하게 손을 잡아주는 게 보였어요.
I vaguely saw that person gently holding Gerard's hand. It was Jerome.
전 어렸을 때부터 지금까지 엄마가 손을 잡아준 적도 없거든요. 그래서 나쁜 일은 없을 거라 생각했어요.
A strong night wind rustles the trees outside the window. Vin sits comfortably on the couch, despite it not being his home, and flips through a long list of names. He pauses, his eyes on a familiar name.
우태양이라. 내 기억에 정지훈이 언급했던 친구 중 하나였던 것 같은데.
He should be one of the friends Bridget Grease mentioned. He's still a child. Oh, what is Vin doing investigating by himself? He seems to have figured something out. He sighs as he casually tosses the documents aside.
도련님, 경매장에서 어렵게 구한 물건인데 벌써 쓸모 없어지신 건가요?
Is it really that useless?
나중에 다시 얘기하죠. 어차피 목적은 달성했으니까요.
I've achieved my goal anyway.
도련님의 목적은 그 여자아이가 복용한 암시장 약물의 책임자를 찾아내시려는 거 아닌가요?
Your goal was to find out who was responsible for the black market drug that the little girl accidentally took? Ogier tries not to sound surprised, but is not particularly convinced. Fortunately, Vin doesn't care. He touches the table with his fingers and answers naturally.
맞아요. 그 아이와 허명준 모두 내 환자이니 신경 쓰는 게 당연하죠.
Of course. Oh my gosh, Vin. She and Jonah Zahn were once my patients. It's only natural I am concerned.
아우지르, 이미 알고 있겠지만 난 상대가 정말 멍청하지 않은 이상 보호적이에요.
You know, I'm usually protective of those I'm responsible for, unless they are incredibly stupid.
전에 경찰서까지 간 학생 말씀이십니까?
Are you talking about the student who got in trouble with the police earlier?
난 그런 제자 둔 적 없어요.
Just owned. That is no student of mine. In the middle of the conversation, there's a sound of rapid footsteps approaching. Vin frowns and complains.
둔하고 육중한 발소리.
Oh, such clumsy footsteps. The next moment, the man he just criticized strides into the room, snorting with disdain.
뻔뻔하기도 해라. 여기가 너네 집이야?
Oh, you seem to be at ease. Are you treating this place like your home?
제 취향 꽤 괜찮죠, 윤주혁 씨.
Oh, Yoon Joo-hyuk. I do not have such poor taste, Matthew Richter.
어디 위아래도 없이. 나 그래도 네 삼촌이야.
He kind of hot. How disrespectful. I am your uncle. Are you?
그런가요? 전 아직 따질 게 많은데요.
I have not had the chance to settle our score yet. Matthew Richter is so angry that he takes in a sharp breath, glaring at the young master in front of him.
그건 내가 할 말 아니겠니? 사랑스런 조카야.
I should be the one saying that, right? My beloved nephew.
정말 윤다나랑 판박이네.
You're a spitting image of
나랑
Rena.
싸우는 걸 좋아하는 걸 보면 말이야.
Always so fond of clashing with me.
당신도 마찬가지인걸요.
I could say the same about you.
판을 그렇게 벌인 건 제가 의심받길 원해서 아니었나요?
You did all that just because you wanted me to be suspected, did you not?
아니었다면 장소를 그곳으로 선택하진 않았겠죠. 경매장이든 사우나실이든 제가 안 갈 수 없는 곳이었으니까.
He wasn't that voice earlier, was he? Otherwise, you would not have chosen that location. After all, there was no way I would not have gone, whether it was to the auction or the sauna room. Matthew Richter sneers coldly.
어른 앞에서 무례하게 행동하면 벌을 받아야지.
Oh, wow. I can't believe how rude you are to your elders. You deserve to be punished.
네 목숨으로 협박하면 윤다나가 얼마나 주려나?
How much ransom would Reina pay if I threatened your life?
꿈도 크시네요.
How absurd.
그게 다야? 아까처럼 계속 말해보지 그래. 설마 겁이라도 먹은 거야?
Is that all? Why not keep running your mouth before? Don't tell me. Are you scared?
제가 기분이 좋으면 말이 없는 편이긴 해요.
I talk less when I'm happy. Even with a cold muzzle pressed against his temple, Vince tilts his head casually. He motions with his eyes for Ogier not to act rashly, then smiles at Matthew Richter.
날 갖고 협박하려는 걸 보니 적어도 한패는 아니라는 건가? 이 멍청한 일과는 관련이 없다는 거네.
Since you're thinking of making me a hostage, that proves you're not working together. She's not involved with this stupidity. His mother? Reina? I see. Marius slips through the report in his hands. A meaningful smile appears on his face as he puts the report in the shredder page by page.
剑兰谷研究中心背后的最大投资人，
The biggest
居然是
investor
墨家，
in the Gladiolus Valley Research Center is the Richter family.
钱再多也不能这么花呀！真是没把我们合印制药放在眼里。
That's not how you just spend a fortune. Honestly, they're looking down on Pax Pharmaceutical. Oh my gosh. What is happening? After receiving the news, Rosa and Artem hurry over to N2X. Concerned that the USB drive may contain other information that was missing, Luke personally analyzes it afterwards. In the end, a deleted video file was recovered. After projecting it, she realizes the same familiar basement again. A man stands at the center of the picture, probably Brad Grease. He spends the first half of the video trying to regulate his emotions, staring awkwardly, his face red with nervousness.
역시 안 되겠어. 카메라를 보고 있으니 말이 안 나오네.
As expected, I can't do it. Or, it won't work. If I'm looking straight into a camera, I can't seem to say anything. He sighs and says he wants to turn off the video recorder. A rat darts in front of him, causing him to retreat backward.
왜 쥐가 있는 거야? 쥐도까지 놓았는데.
Seeing this, her eyes widen in disbelief. While he's complaining, he consciously looks away from the camera with the intention of asking for help. Then the video records the sound of the rat shrieks. It almost sounds like the rat is stomped on. Soon, the sounds of the struggle grow fainter. The video cuts off. Who was in there? Oh my god.
좀 더 가까이 와요.
Okay, that's the end of that. Oh, that was like 6 hours and a half of recording. I have to cut this later. There's so much to handle, to take in. I'm gonna go for a walk. I need to clear my head. I need to clear my head after this.